And we alive. What's good, Josh? Your man, Dale Saint. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really want to know podcast. How y'all feeling out there, y'all? How y'all feeling? Hope all is well. Um, yeah, man, it's Monday. You guys made it through the weekend. I hope you're okay. If you were down here in Central Florida in the Tampa area, man, they had this pirate thing that they do every year, and yeah, that was last weekend. I didn't get out and do anything. I stayed in the house. I stayed in the house. I forget what it's called. It'll come to me at some point doing this broadcast. But I went out Friday night before it all got crazy, and then like Saturday was just ridiculous. I didn't go out at all. I tried to go check out a comedy room, but I couldn't get there. It was this pirate thing, and then it was also uh, wrestling, like professional, like WWE, WWF, whatever it's called these days, was also in Tampa. It was insane. I went back home. Like, I ain't doing this. I'm too old for all this, man. Um, but yeah. So my weekend was pretty low key. I did manage to scout out some comedy and meet some folks and do a couple open mics. And like I said, man, I love comedy. It's good times. It's fun. But ooh, ooh. So hope you guys had a good weekend. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, Team Replay. Appreciate y'all out there. Um, still trying to figure out how to get the viewership up, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm convinced that there's some sort of people keep saying shadow ban. I was watching Wheat Waffles today. He was talking about that. It's certain words, certain types of content that the algorithm looks at. But then I also look at the people who specialize in the content creation space and how this stuff moves. And I don't know. I don't know which it is, but we're gonna keep doing it. It's fun. Like we're doing good. We're growing, and YouTube Shorts is really good for this platform. I'll put out YouTube Shorts and I'll get a bunch of views, and then people like what they hear, they'll subscribe, and then slowly, one at a time, they fall off. And I'm noticing that a lot of content creators in this space, I'll go and like go to their channel, like Rolo Tomasi, for instance, or Fresh and Fit, or whoever, Rich Cooper, and I'll notice that I've been unsubscribed. And I've had people on this platform tell me, like, "Hey, bro, I've been unsubscribed, and I know I didn't because I didn't get the notification and this and that." I'm telling you, man, I think there's something going on. Can't prove it, but I think there's something going on. But today we're gonna be talking about my homeboys, Fresh and Fit and Sneako. Man, there was Sneako was on the after hours, I think, sometime last week, and there was a really good conversation. And I got my take on Sneako that I kind of want to put out there. I've met Sneako, bro. He's a cool young guy, man. He's a cool young kid. Um, he's trying to figure it out, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a lot of people out there like, El Sneako, and they say what they say about the dude, but he's trying to figure out, man. He's trying to figure it out. And yeah, I wanted to talk about a conversation, a debate that they had on the platform, man. So let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Shout out to Shoo Shoo. Hey, I want you guys to know the Shoo Shoo is doing fine. A lot of people hit me up, asking me about her. She's doing fine. She's just busy, y'all. She's busy. I think 2024 is going to be a great year for her. Um, as far as the entertainment business goes, as far as her editing uh endeavors go, she's doing good stuff. She has a project out there now that I think is gonna make some waves. Maybe not huge waves, but definitely gonna make some waves. And the fact that she's involved in the project, I think it's a real good thing. So definitely looking forward to watching our sister shine out there. Don DeMarco the Shoo Shoo. Don DeMarco the Shoo Shoo. Please like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Um, I finally found an app that a program, I should say, an editing program. I'm going to try my hand at editing and start to do some more stuff with the platform. Maybe we'll have more success if we just do some edited stuff and do some clips. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Definitely gonna give that a shot. And brother Dino, when he shows up, hopefully he'll show up today. I just haven't had time to finish the second half of our experiment on Tinder. I do have the matches. I'm still on the platform. Uh, I'm about to find the time to figure that out. But I ain't gonna lie to you, it was easier than I thought. And again, it could be my age. You know, I'm in my 50s, so my search included women who would be quote unquote post wall or approaching the wall. A lot of interest, a lot more than I thought. Nowhere near as many, hits or likes or matches as, a female, but a lot more than I expected, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was, and I wasn't even really trying hard. I could see if I were really getting on it, I probably could have tripled the number. Um, but we're gonna finish it up before the end of February. I'm definitely gonna figure it up, finish that up, and go on a couple dates. And y'all know how Uncle Saint does it. A couple coffee dates ain't gonna hurt nobody. You know what I mean? Just kind of couple meetups in the park. It's been cold too, so it's hard to invite people out in Tampa right now because it's been cold for Tampa. Like today, it never got over 57 degrees. That's cold for a place that's normally around 85 degrees. So kind of hard to get people to meet you out and just hang out outside when the weather gets kind of chilly. But we're gonna finish that up. And if Brother Dino jumps on here, I'll tell him. Maybe he'll see this in on Team Replay. So there he is right there. There he is right there. I was just talking about you, brother. Shout out to you. He's like, I'm here, DL. Don't worry, brother. But is Tinder not a link up app? I think all those apps are really kind of link ups, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't believe that. I don't. Depends on who's using them and who's trying to use them. Like if I'm out there just to smash, I can be on Hinge or Bumble or Match or Tinder or whatever, and be able to do that. It's just another funnel. But if you're out there trying to look for your significant other, you can do that too. But yeah, man, a lot of women on Tinder, on Match, on all these platforms, if it's the right dude, they just trying to, get on, man. They trying to have some fun. They trying to have some fun. But those same women will also be looking for dudes that could go the distance. It just depends on the two individuals involved, bro. To be honest with you, same with Instagram. People are using these lifestyle hacks to get other folks interested in them. Whatever it takes to get you in front of that person, and then it kind of goes from there. Like, well, what are you looking for, and how basically how good is your game versus their game? That's what it boils down to. So it is what it is. Yep, Match. I did say Match. Let me pull up the app again because I always get them confused. Which app did I have? Tinder. I had Tinder for this particular experiment, and I got some sort of notification on Tinder right now, as a matter of fact. And the first week I did it, I uploaded the photos and I paid for like 4 weeks. And the Tinder Gold, I paid for that for 4 weeks. And I think my Tinder Gold subscription is up. It's over. But I did get hits. I never used a boost or anything. They have a boost on there and they have all these different kind of things of doing it, but I didn't even use the boost. So I'm definitely gonna finish it out just to see how many dates I can actually get, how many women I can meet in real life. And I will probably meet, like, I think of what was it, 16 matches I had. I forget how many matches it was. Let me look it up. But I'm sure I could see right now, I open it up and it's like, get 50% off your first month of Tinder Gold. The offer expires in 29 minutes and 53 seconds. So instead of paying $40 a month, your first month could be $20 a month. See, it's just these dating apps designed to make money, bro. They're not trying to help you find somebody. They want to keep you on the app. But it is Tinder. You got your first like, see who likes you. Like, all right, let's see who likes me. Oh, but you need Tinder Gold to see who likes you. See what I mean? It's just a trap to get you to pay more money. Let's see. I have 18 likes. I have 18 likes, and I was on here for this will be the 4th week. So and I can't see any of them because I'm not paying for the thing. So like it is what it is. They want you to pay them money. They just want you to pay them money, and it's a ripoff, bro. It's a ripoff. Absolutely a ripoff. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll that's the second time they've offered me that 50% off thing. So it's anything to get money out of me to, hey, you got these likes. See who likes you. Pay us this much money. You know what I mean? Well, pay us $20 and it automatically renews. And when it renews, it's gonna renew at the normal rate of $40. Right. And after a while, like try Tender Platinum because you can get more perks. And then, so I tell folks all the time, bro, like you need to know how to go talk to women. You need to understand the game, learn how to go talk to people, learn the different choosing signals, and go from there. Wheat Waffle has a video out right now, and he talks about choosing signals. We'll probably talk about that one tomorrow. The stuff that he's doing, like he's more of the extreme side, like send the asteroid type dude, no matter what. It's really hard out here and this and that. I'm that camp that, yeah, if you want to level up, you can. If you need to understand these things and you can go out here and be successful. I'm a part of that camp. I'm not a part of that, the dark side. You know what I mean? I'm just, Wheat Waffles is out there and he's more like Darth Vader, man.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Nah, man, you ain't gonna rule nothing, man. Stay away from those dark side guys, right? And I don't want to say the name that they use because that's one of the words that they're looking for on this algorithm to suppress your content. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You have the different colors, and that's the darker color one. And those guys are like, just forget about it. There's nothing that can be done. That's not true. You can do stuff. You can absolutely do stuff. You can learn game. I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of dudes who are pulling out. There are a lot of dudes who aren't necessarily going their own way, although some are. But a lot of the younger dudes are just, because of this content, you got what's going on in the manosphere in the RP world. These guys are like, you know what? Let me level up. Let me focus on me. And now women aren't getting that automatic attention that they were used to get. So you got dudes who aren't definitely not trying to be friend zoned. You got dudes who, if they do attempt an approach and they get shot down, they won't try it again for a long time. And women are kind of like, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do about that. So like, it is what it is. So yeah, but I did say Match before, Brother Dino, because back in the day, I was on Match. I was on Tinder, Bagels and Coffee, Plenty of Fish. This is back in the day, man. I pretty much hit them all. And I was using them as a way just to meet different women. What was on my mind? The smash. Was I really looking for a wife? No. I figured it's just a funnel, just to see what comes my way. And I mean, my success rate on dating apps was probably, I don't know. If I had to make up a number, I would say I would probably close maybe 12% of the women I pursued strictly dating apps. Like, but when you add that to all of the other stuff that you were doing, like the cold approach, the day game, what I mean, the gym game, social circles, when you include all of that, the close rate went way up, way up. I would say maybe in the 25 to 40% range at my peak, probably 40%, which is high, bro. Like it was when I was in LA, it was coming. And most of that was coming from what I call my cool kid game when I was promoting comedy rooms and doing my thing. That's a little bit of celebrity. That's kind of like being in a band or something like that, right? People knew me. People would hollering my name. So it was easier for me to get on. That was the best for me. And that's the world that I'm from. But these young kids, someone like Fresh, someone like Myron, they understand the new way of doing business, and they understand all the different funnels, from the sugar sites to the dating sites to cold approach. They do better with the cyber stuff, especially Instagram, because we didn't have Instagram coming up. So I mean, that's just pretty much what it was. But yeah, the app that I was using for our experiment, bro, was Tinder. Just for the record, would be Tinder. I got 18 likes right now, and I can't see any of them, right? Because they want me to pay money just to see who likes me. And it just shows you right there, the trap. It's the trap. Do women have to pay? No. women don't have to pay. They got tons of dudes hitting them up, sending them messages and whatnot. It's probably better, in my opinion, if you're gonna go after a woman, try to holler at her via Facebook if you're old like me, or Instagram. You know what I mean? And Brother Dino was like, "DL, you got to have a politics day. Your coming election will be historic in the US." Yeah, I've only done one show on Downrange. I'm definitely wanting to talk about what happened in the Middle East. We lost three US service members were lost in a drone attack by the Houthis, who were backed by the Iranians, and that was terrible. You know, there was someone, I think it was 32 service members were injured in this particular attack. And apparently there was some sort of confusion with the air defense networks. So this attack could have been prevented. Yeah, this is a giant step closer to, you know, some sort of conventional war in the Middle East. And then people are like, well, and this took place on the Jordan Iran or Jordan Iraq border. And, you know, people are like, well, why are our soldiers over there? It's definitely time to start talking about that, bro. I'm definitely going to have to do that. DJ Two Sweets in the building. What's good, fam? What up, though? What's good with you, player? I see you. But we're definitely going to talk some politics. At some point this week, I'll probably do like some early shows, like around noonish or whatever, because it's starting to really heat up over there. And I knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. Whenever we get involved in the Middle East, whenever people get an opportunity to you know, hurt Americans, they're going to take it, especially in the Middle East. This was definitely going to come. This is a matter of time. So our response to this is going to be huge. And then you're looking at what's going on with our election. You're right. This is definitely going to be historic. You know, Piers Morgan was on the Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne and DJ Envy, and dude had a very interesting take on what's going on with this particular election and with Biden and Trump. And I definitely want to talk about that. I'll break that down. I'm gonna do that one. Well, I'll do it on this, and I'll just simulcast this and Downrange. So yeah, bro, I'm gonna have to start talking politics again, man. It's hard to keep them separate, but we definitely gotta have that conversation. Brother Pitney's in the building. What's good, fam? Please like the video. So let's get into what we came to talk about today, man. We're gonna watch this video. This is from Law of Distraction. I believe that's the name of the Law of Distraction. This is an official Fresh and Fit sanctioned YouTube channel. They've been posting shorts, and all they do is just post. They'll just cut it up and put it up and run it on their channel, and they get tons of views. Again, it's a head scratcher, but I'm glad they're getting it. Myron and Fresh have sanctioned them. Like, yeah, you go do your thing. They don't try to stop anyone. Myron and Fresh are now like, hey, man, you want to use our content to get money, get money. YouTube ain't letting us do it, so y'all might as well eat. So shout out to Law of Distinction. So this video was one of the after hours. They had Sneako there, some women, and in this particular video, they were talking about, you know, high value men and who the highest value men are, and you know, what exactly is Fresh and Fit trying to do with, you know, educating dudes, putting dudes on game, stuff like that. And I thought this was a pretty good conversation. You know, a lot of people right away started lashing out at Sneako. You know, Sneako is just a young guy who's trying to figure it out, bro. This dude, he bounces around a lot. He's truly trying to figure it out. Goes from, you know, he'll talk about it as this video goes on, but I think the dude is really on a personal quest to become the best version of himself. Now he's, I guess, you know, he's found Islam. He's like a Muslim. He's already had Mecca. He's like gone to Mecca and done, what do they call it? Hajj or whatever it is. Hey, man, it's like whatever, you know, 6 months from now, dude, he might be a Mormon. A year after that, he might be a Druid. Like, who knows, bro? He's just trying to figure it out. His takes, once he adopts something or he falls into something, man, he's that guy that goes 100%. I'm not sure if he quite thinks it all the way through. He's just there. He's just doing it. He's like 100, and then something else catches out, and he's like, oh, and he'll run over and do something else. I'm not saying that in a negative way. He just strikes me as a young man who's trying to figure it out. I have met him on occasion. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and talk to him because I haven't been to Miami in a while. I'll be back in Miami in March. So I look forward to bumping into, hopefully I could bump into Sneako and have a conversation off camera. I just kind of want to get in his head and see, you know what I mean, like what he's really thinking. I didn't mean to make the crazy sign. What he's really thinking, right? And again, I remember being a young guy, full of passion and out there trying to figure things out. I understand how that goes. So let's check this out. They're going to be talking about how high value men should behave. I thought this was a good conversation. Let's get into it.
Person of authority? Don't you want that?
What was that?
You being the runner of this podcast, don't you want to position yourself as a person of authority?
Yeah, but asking a guy if he's in a relationship is not the metric of success to show that authority.
So yeah, the conversation that you guys had kind of shows your belief system, right? That being married, is that a success to you, for a man, being married?
Here's the thing. It is a success thing, but if you're a top tier guy, then you have your pick of the litter and you just pick the best girl.
Right. But is that the goal for you, for the audience, to be married to a...
I think a guy's number one goal should be to create impact in the world. And then everything falls underneath that.
I agree.
Because women will come. The thing is once you become that guy, women are going to come after and want your last name. Agreed. You just got to pick the best girl to give that last name to.
I agree completely. But you said it earlier. I'm not sure if you said this, if I understood correctly. You said like it's a metric. Guy fucking a lot of girls is a metric of success.
So they're about to get into it. The what he just said, a guy who can get a lot of women is, that's a matrix of success. It is. They just keep it 100. If a man is really good and he can get sexual access from a bunch of women, people gonna look at that as a successful dude to some extent. It's like there's something about that guy. And the more beautiful and more successful the women are that he can get access to, the higher his success, irregardless of what he's doing on his own. The dude could be working at McDonald's as a dishwasher, but he has a beautiful woman who pulls up in a Bentley and picks him up every night from work. They're going to be like, wow, he's the guy. The dude could be broke as a joke, but he can get into every nightclub. He can get into every party. He can get into every event. He's on the red carpet. Dude, they're going to be like, wow, that dude's hot. That guy is top tier. He could just have one suit. Broke as a joke, but he got women taking care of him. People are gonna look at him as something special. I'm just keeping it 100. That is just how it is. Right? So to sit here and say that that's not the case, come on now, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, of course, any man who can get sexual access from a lot of women, especially beautiful women, is top tier. Now, within that, if you got a dude who gets a bunch of women, but they're all chicken heads, they're all like trailer park hood chicks from the barrio or whatever. All right, you can get a lot of women, but these women aren't top tier women. So he's still gonna get, like, his dude's gonna be like, yo, you the man. But your status isn't the same as someone like Fresh or Sneako or that dishwasher dude with the one suit who's like messing with the most beautiful women in your town. There's still levels to this thing, right? So, but the guy who can get 4 or 5 chicken heads, his social status is higher than the dude who has 0 women in his life. The dude who's out here just simping in the friend zone or whatever. So that's true. And then they were talking about marriage. Like Myron was talking about, the woman's like, well, is marriage the ideal? Depends on the individual. Like, how do you win? And I tell people all the time, like, what's up to it's only individuals, right? People always want to say that men are the prize, women are the prize, and y'all, what Uncle Saint says about that. In order to be the prize, you got to come together. You got to find that woman or women, depending on what your situation is, they come in and make you better. Like it's really one woman. Simply, you might be running plates, but it's going to be one woman who's out there really helping you grow. Whatever it is you're trying to grow. Generally speaking, it's going to be one woman, just like your right hand. You find that woman and y'all come to an agreement and y'all find each other and y'all make it work. Then at that point, you guys are both the prize. Once you come together like Voltron, then you're both the prize. But if you're out there, you're single, you're just trying to figure it out, neither one of you the prize. I mean, just keeping it 100. You're like, well, aren't you the prize, uncle? I'm like, nah. Like, I'm just chilling right now. I'm cool. I'm doing my thing. But in my mind, someone like Jay Swans, to me, and his wife, they are both now the prize. They are equally the prize. They came together. They won. They won. They came together. They've been together for the thing. They've raised their children. They've gone the distance, and they're still together. They're still happy. They are the prize. Right. So, you know, a lot of people get lost in that conversation. Who's the prize and this and that? Like, man, whatever. Brother Dino says Fresh and Fit killed their money. It was like they were chasing the canceled label. I'm interested to know why. I got the same vibe too. I have not talked to Myron and Fresh about that, but I got that same vibe. I'm like, bro, y'all trying to get canceled? I think a lot of it is, and this is just me speculating because again, I haven't spoken to Myron and Fresh about this. Next time I see him, I'll probably ask. But I think a lot of it is just we want to say what we want to say and move the way we want to move, and it bit them in the butt. And remember, they got canceled. They got demonetized on YouTube for stuff that they did away from YouTube. The stuff that they got demonetized for was not what they were doing on the platform. It was what they were doing on other platforms. In this particular video, this was like a Rumble exclusive. So this wasn't even on YouTube. And you can see there was 31,000. It was over 31,000 people watching on Rumble. And Fresh was talking about the Rumble deal on another podcast, Strike It Big podcast. It's out there. You guys should check it out. Fresh was talking about, they asked him about the Rumble deal. He wouldn't give them numbers, but he was like, hey, it was a great deal. But Rumble was nowhere near YouTube. So, you know, it is what it is. Brother Roman's in the house. What's good, fam? Good to see you, brother. Brother Dino DL, this would be Rumble content. Sneako is banned on YouTube. Yeah, but it's, I don't think YouTube is going to do anything. We'll see. We'll see if YouTube does something to this channel because I'm reviewing this, then I'll know it's definitely algorithm is on me. Because there's a lot. I've seen this video and I've seen reactions to Sneako on other people's platforms and nothing happened. The videos are monetized. It's no problem. So we'll see. We'll see. And this is a good conversation. Like if, you know, Myron and Fresh are definitely working towards getting their monetization back with YouTube. I know they're working with real people. The thing about YouTube, you have to be a very big platform just to talk to a human over there. So if I were to try to get a hold of someone at YouTube, it's all automation. You cannot talk to a human. You cannot talk to a human. So if I do get smited for doing this video and just kind of reacting to this, if I get in trouble, I'll have to go over to Rumble as well, man, which I don't want to. I don't want to, but I will. It is what it is. And I will only talk about maybe politics over here or talk about some other stuff or whatever, kind of mirror what Fresh and Myron are doing. Brother Romy, like Sneako is over his head and is slightly delusional. Hey man, he could be, man. Like he's in over his head. Like he's really trying to figure it out. He's just a young guy who's trying to figure it out, bro, because his position changes so much. And I get that he's young. You know, he came into money quick. He's trying to figure stuff out. This conversation, again, this is why I wanted to break this down. This conversation is like insane. Some of the stuff that he's saying, like, bro, what are you talking about? And even Fresh points it out, like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, because it's yeah, we're gonna get into that here in a second. But yeah, he's definitely in and over his head. Brother Roman continues, it's all content until it starts to hit your home financially and then physically. Yeah. Industries are still in control by more powerful people. So there is a line you can't cross. Yeah. I mean, it's always like I tell people all the time, like the 1% runs the world, bro. It is what it is. They definitely run America. They run our political system. And that's just how it is, man. You know, I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day. We had this conversation. We've had this conversation going for 2 years now, a little over 2 years. Nah, longer than that. I think it's over 3 years now. We've been talking about this stuff politically. And I was just kind of telling him, like, hey, bro, this is how it works, man. You know what I mean? And he just would get so frustrated. I'm like, hey, man, this is just how it works, man. Like, there's no one in American politics gets to the White House that's not bought, paid for, and or approved by the 1%. No one gets to the White House unless they are backed by the money. No one. It ain't gonna happen. They won't get there. You know. So and I got my buddy, and I got a bunch of friends. A lot of them don't want to accept that. Well, there's these people over here, and they start dropping names, and I'm like, okay, well, that name used to be this person. You know, like you look at someone like AOC. I like AOC. I love her passion. She did a great thing getting in there. She slid under the radar, but guess what? The 1% got her ass now. And she's going to do what she's told. She's going to follow orders, or she's going to get out of DC, because you got to have their money to stay. The only way to, and it's, I know I slide into politics, but a lot of people just hate hearing that. I'm like, bro, it's rigged. Like, it doesn't matter who goes. It matters who gets in there, but there's only so much they can do. And it was Barack Obama's 2 terms proved that to me. There's only so much they can do. And I think Barack Obama was Barack Obama, in my opinion, was definitely the best modern president in American history, possibly ever. I mean, going back to, you have to go all the way back to, God, you got to go back past Nixon, right? You're going to have to go back to FDR. I would say Obama was the best president since FDR, and then you have that conversation of who was better. Frankly, Delano Roosevelt or Barack Obama. You have to have that conversation, and it's a close one. It's a close one. I would probably say FDR is better, but my point being, Barack was that powerful of a president. Another guy, literally the black sheep, came from out of nowhere. He got there, did a good job, but he only did so much. They only let him go so far. Think about that. Brother One was like, Fresh gave him a reality check that scared him. Yeah, because I didn't see the rest of this. I just saw this one, and I'm gonna have to go on the Rumble and pull up the whole thing and watch this whole after hours. Brother Dino, 2 Ukrainian women left Fresh and Fit in tears with Myron telling them Russia is winning the war. When is Myron getting his info Russia? Maybe. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, Myron's take on Ukraine is very different. He and I've talked about that briefly. You know what I mean? I would love to sit down and have that one day I'm gonna be able to sit down and talk to him. At best, in Ukraine, you could say that it's at a stalemate at this point, because America is kind of wobbling on committing the weapons and the I guess the support needed to stop Russia. But I don't see Russia taking Ukraine. I mean, it just, I don't know what Putin's up to. Like, Russians are sick of it. You can't get enough soldiers. They've run out of tanks. They're trying to get their money together so they can buy equipment from other countries. But America just proved how potent our military is. Our tech is incredible. So, yeah, man, you're right. Some people just believe what they want to believe, man. They believe what they want to believe. 3-leg saying Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, man, his administration, bro, like he goes down in history as one of the worst presidents actually in modern time. You look at Jimmy Carter, because you think about like the oil embargo and gas prices. Jimmy Carter will always be known for that. It was Jimmy Carter, his administration, when gas went over $1. Like, dude, I'm an old guy. I was a kid when that happened. The grown-ups lost their minds when gas went over $1. Right. And people couldn't get gas anywhere. It was a bad time in America. And then that's when the Ayatollah and his people took over in Iran. We had that failed Delta mission to go rescue hostages. They overran the embassy. Jimmy Carter wanted to get those people out, sanctioned a mission to get them out. And that mission failed because of logistic issues. I think it boiled down to the wrong type of filters in the helos, and then of course the pilots didn't have the training that they needed and the tech that they needed to land in the desert, because when you land in the desert, a lot of dust flies up, and the helicopters collided. Those were the helicopters that had the extraction team. I think that was Delta that was on board those helicopters. Meanwhile, the Rangers had secured, like the real Rangers, the regiment had secured an airport for the exfil. So the plan was Delta was gonna go in, snatch the hostages out. They were gonna exfil to this airport and fly out of the airport. But the Rangers had taken the airport already. We took it. Don't take my word for this. Y'all can look this up. The Rangers had secured the airport in a foreign land, and actually engaged a few Iranian soldiers and dealt with them, right, as Rangers do. And once they got word that the mission got scrubbed, they actually took some Iranians with them. They had it was a bus of Iranians that they had to take with them, and they left the country. We basically kidnapped a busload of Iranians. Ronald Reagan came into office. I think one of the last things that Jimmy Carter was able to do was negotiate a release for the prisoners, the hostages from the embassy in Iran. Ronald Reagan came into office, and the rest was the rest. But Jimmy Carter really was like one of the worst presidents, I would argue, in modern history. And good to see you, Three Legs saying. Brother, if Ukraine is drafting older men and females, they're losing the war. You gotta understand, there's still, to my knowledge, there's still a lot of foreign fighters over there. So I don't know. And then they were able to push the Russians back, although they couldn't push them completely out of Ukraine. They did move the lines. We're gonna see how that plays out. As long as they're being supported and supplied by United States, I don't see them losing that conflict. But we'll see. We'll see. But to say that Russia is winning, man, I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And there's definitely going to be a conversation we're going to have on Downrange Podcast, because we're going to see what happens with, what happens with Ukraine, especially if Donald Trump wins the election. And that's a very real possibility. What happens moving forward? What is the Biden administration going to do about Gaza, supporting Israel, and the broader issues in the Middle East? Like everyone who's against Israel right now, to my knowledge, are being, for the most part, supported by Iran. American politicians, these professional politicians, have been wanting to go after Iran since the 80s. This is an opportunity for them to do it. A lot of Republican hawks are already screaming, let's go. A lot of Democrats are like, no, we don't want to go. That's like old school American politics right there. Who knows what the Biden administration is going to do? Biden is more hawkish than he is a dove, so he's definitely going to do something. But again, who is his point man on this, and how much of this is Biden actually able to absorb and kind of make command decisions on? I got so many issues on that too. Again, that's more of a political thing. We'll pick that up. We're going to talk about this tomorrow for sure. We're going to talk about, what's going on in Ukraine, Middle East, Biden, Trump. We definitely got to talk about that. Right, Brother Diner, like, yeah, Russia's losing 800 to 1,000 men a day. And that's, I don't even think that counts the men who are, surrendering to the Ukrainians. You got a lot of guys. You got Russian men who are leaving Russia. I mean, that whole thing, I said this from the very beginning. Putin should have taken Ukraine in less than 48 hours if his military was as powerful as the whole world thought it was. Remember, at the time, Russia was the second most powerful military on the planet. It was us, Russia, China. The fact that Russia couldn't do that, and all the issues they had with all of their equipment and all of the corruption and all the stuff that's going on, it's like, yeah, man, I doubt if Russia could beat the Afghans, man. At this point, the way that they're doing business is, I doubt it. So, Ukraine is fighting for their home, and there's all kind of problems in Ukraine. Don't get me wrong, bro. I'm not advocating for Ukrainians. Like they got a lot of corruption. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But as far as fighting the Russians, I think they're doing a pretty bang up job for who they are. There's no way that this should be this close. And Brother Diner's like, oh my God, watching the Bradley destroy Russia's best tanks, like an unfair fight. Yeah, man. And Bradleys are just armored personnel carriers. Like American tech versus Russia tech, bro, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, Brother Roman. Historically speaking, wars usually boost economics, technology development, and human genetics. But I may be incorrect. I mean, war is big business, man. Just ask Halliburton, bro. Just ask Boeing. You know what I mean? Just, it's big business, bro. When those orders come in for, tanks or armored personnel carriers or, these armored vehicles. It's big money. It's big money. But the kind of wars that I think you're describing is like the global type stuff when nation on nation. And we haven't had one of those in a long time. Like you look at what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, that's still small. You know, you're talking about like if America and Iran get at it, yeah, you're going to talk about something big. But that'll be quick too. No nation can stand up to the United States military, bro. It's just a fact. If the government, if the politicians unleash the military, just let them do their thing, there's no one that can stand up to the United States military, including China. We're just too good, even with our problems, even with the recruiting issues, even with not finding people, you know what I mean, who can serve. Bro, no one can stop America right now, man. We spend too much money on military stuff, man. You know what I mean, brother Dino? Russia is emptying prisons and picking up immigrants to go fight. Yeah, I mean, this is like the last, in my opinion, I said this before, the last battle of the Cold War. This is it. Like this is America fighting the last of the Cold War kind of thing. And America wants to get rid of Putin. You want to talk about someone else who's old and maybe he has some sort of health issues, and Putin is really on the ropes right now. Like that guy's literally taking out all of his opposition. The Russian people aren't backing him. I mean, if he's going to do something in Ukraine, he's better hurry up and do it. You know, and maybe he's looking like, hey, if we can get Trump in office, you know, that will help him do whatever he's doing. It's like, okay, at least, you know, then maybe they'll stop, you know, supplying the Ukrainians with equipment, with, you know, bombs, bullets, and Band-Aids, and, you know, intel. We'll see. But, you know, and like I said, that's another conversation. Like, even if Trump got into the White House, what would that mean for American foreign policy? What would that mean for the American military? Are you talking about a guy who has problems with sensitive documents? Would they even allow him or his administration to have these documents outside of certain areas? I mean, who knows what might happen, man? That whole Trump thing is like crazy. And brother Romy, the USA didn't do anything about that one Iranian bomb, and now there's that issue in Jordan strike. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, let's talk about that tomorrow for sure. That, you know, you got 3 U.S. soldiers lost their lives in that suicide drone attack. I guess I shouldn't say that word, the S word, in that drone attack. And I want to say 32. It was 32 that were injured, some critically. So that number might go up, man. It is what it is. Brother Vikings in the building. What's good, fam? Russia doesn't take foes fast. They always play the long game. But here's the thing, though. The Russians don't have the Russian people are not happy with this Ukraine situation. They at first they were behind it. They were listening to the propaganda, but now they're not with it. And you even have people inside of Russia talking about it like we need to stop this. So yeah, Putin has his issues, bro. Casual Germans in the building. Was good, fam. It's like not only that, their brother Dinosaur, but their tanks without blast shields is hilarious. Yeah, man. Like the tires didn't work, their weapons don't work, their body armor is fake. I mean, they got all kind of issues over there. Yeah, you talking about the blast doors. Yeah, like the reactive armor, none of the stuff that they're supposed to have. They're afraid to fly their best aircraft. They're afraid, you know, they don't have any more tanks. Like they don't have any state-of-the-art stuff. They're using older tanks. Russia's got a problem, bro. We definitely gonna have to talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna have to talk about this tomorrow. I didn't know so many people wanted to really, you know, get that out there. We're gonna have to talk about this tomorrow for sure. Sending prisoners of war, what a great idea to lessen the overpopulation of males in prison. Yeah, like early on, they had the Wagner group would go into the prisons and get prisoners to come out and fight, and they'll say, hey, you can come fight with us for X amount of time. When you're done, you know, you don't have to go back to prison. You can earn your freedom. And a lot of those prisoners stopped doing it because they realized they weren't coming home. Like those guys were just being used as cannon fodder. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. And they used to do that here in America, man, back in the Vietnam era, man, Korea era. Go to war, go to jail, man. You get your draft notice, they'll lock you up if you refuse to go. A lot of people went to Canada. or people who could afford it, they will have doctors say that they have problems like Donald Trump, bone spurs. You know what I mean? You have people, and Trump is not the only one. There's tons of people who didn't go to Vietnam. But you have people who would get locked up or get arrested for stuff, and the judge is like, well, we can lock you up or you can join the military, which meant you can go to Vietnam or you can go to jail. And a lot of people opted to join the military. So that was a big thing back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And then they stopped for a while. And I know some people in today's military who were like, yeah, man, I was facing a judge, and the judge said, join the military or go do this bid. And a lot of guys were like, okay, I'll go to the military. And it worked out for them. I know some guys that really worked out for them. You know what I mean? It's like casual germ. Russian roulette is a bold move. Yeah, bro. It is what it is. Last good man in Jersey's in the building. What's good, fam? So, okay, we're going to end it there with the political talk. We're going to end it there. We're going to pick that up tomorrow. I see what it is now, man. We got to talk about it. We're going to talk politics tomorrow, 100%. I promise you. We just, yeah, what we'll do is we'll talk about that Breakfast Club Pierce Morgan interview. I think that's a good one to start with. And that'll allow us to talk about what's going on militarily. And we'll look at some articles as to what America plans to do about losing those 3 soldiers in Jordan, which I'm willing to bet $1 to a donut. Hell, I'm willing to bet $100 to a donut that we've already decided what we're going to do. It's just a matter of deciding on which strike package, and it's going to make it happen. There's going to be a lot of collateral damage. But that's it. We're going to end it there. Tomorrow, we're going to pick this up. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Middle East and, you know, where we think this is going to land us as a nation. Brother Viking, I will never underestimate Russian tactics. They play chess, not checkers. The Russians are too corrupt, bro. They're too corrupt. They don't know their capabilities, man. And what does Sun Tzu say, man? Know yourself, know your enemy. The Russians don't know their own capabilities because there's a lot of lying. There's a lot of thievery going on, a lot of stealing, a lot of skimming, right? These, you know, look at all these oligarchs, man. Most of these dudes are like high-ranking generals and admirals and whatnot. So I agree. They're trying to play chess, but they find out when it's too late that their capabilities aren't what they were told that they were. Like, you know, everyone's lying to Putin. No one's going to tell Putin the truth. The truth could get you locked up, man. Somebody might, you tell Putin the truth, he might poke you in the neck with a syringe full of, uranium or something. Ain't nobody trying to get thrown out of a window. How many people that that works for Putin done fell out of windows, bro? Come on now, airplanes falling out the sky. Well, again, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. We're going to talk about this tomorrow, bro. So write down y'all questions, man. Write down y'all stuff, man. We're going to definitely have this conversation, which would be a good one. Man. And Casual Germ, yep, that's what's up. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, but all superpowers fall under that category. Yeah, they do. You should be playing chess and not checkers. Former Soviet Union countries do not want to be Soviet Union again. Yep. Right. And I don't think Putin was trying to reform the Soviet Union. I think he wanted the Russian Empire to come back. I think he saw himself as some sort of czar. But again, we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow. Let's get back to the topic right here. So we got Brother Sneako and this young lady sitting to his left or right, and with the white top on. They're about to go into this notion of what a high value man should do, as opposed to why the guy is high value in the first place. And Myron and Fresh are basically standing their ground like, hey, the Fresh and Fit podcast is simply a platform to tell dudes what it is, to explain the game to them. And if they listen, they can put themselves in a position where they can choose. That's what Myron and Fresh have always said, and they stand on that. We just want guys to understand the game so they can choose the type of relationship they have once they become that sought after man. And I agree with those boys. I tell people all the time, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. Let's not talk about the game how you think it should be or how it used to be. Let's talk about how the game is right now, today. Brother Ted's in the building. What's good, fam? Like, old men need to stop. And I think that's reference, Casual German. I think that was reference to the warring old men need to stop. Also, shout out to everyone in that Brother Viking Paradigm. It's been a while since I've been on the streams. Hey man, shout out to you, bro. I'm glad you're here. And again, we're gonna talk tomorrow. We're gonna talk politics, man. We're gonna talk war, politics. You know what I mean? It'll be like the unplugged version, and I'll give my 2 cents on what I think is going on and how things are going to play out moving forward. I think it's going to be a good conversation. I had no idea that everyone really wanted to talk about that, man. So let's get it in. So let's get back to this video. But like I said, pay attention to Sneako and the girl to the right, his left, in the white top, and listen to the points that they're trying to make.
You think that is that a barometer of success? Fucking a bunch of women.
It indicates a sexual market value.
But
whether he chooses to actually enact on it or not, it's up to him. But my thing is, a guy that can have sex with girls, he's basically exuding his high sexual market
But
value.
to who? But do you agree it also shows some other qualities about him?
What do you mean?
Maybe.
What do you mean? I understand what you're saying.
Some negative qualities.
Let me ask you a better question.
Exactly
I want her to clarify specifically what she means so I can answer it specifically.
I wouldn't want to have a guy that has a high number, like a high count.
wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know.
It's one thing to be able to get those,
Can never
to
tell.
have access, but then to exercise your access versus
Correct.
using discernment. That shows another level. That brings you from being.
See, again, this conversation, I like the conversation that they're having. The one woman was saying, I wouldn't want to be with a man who's been with a lot of women. That's not true. The qualities it takes for a man to be with a lot of women, most women find attractive. If I would argue if that woman, and I could be wrong, you know what I mean? Y'all know I'm just an old man sitting in his attic talking to his computer right now, bro. But if I've never had a problem with a woman back in the day when I was at my peak who knew I was out there getting it. In fact, women would watch me move and see all the other women coming around and me talking and doing my thing, and they will make it their business to put themselves in my orbit and want to holler at me. Women do tend to want men that other women want to be with and other men want to be. So when you walk in someplace and everybody know you, like I can walk into the spot and the doors open up, the rope opens up right away. I'm coming in there, right? Come on now, you know I'm no virgin. Stop it. A woman can tell, and they'll say that when you start talking to them, ooh, you a player, ooh, I'm in trouble. They'll say stuff like that, bro. So there's this, I don't believe that for one bit. You know, I don't want to be with a man who has a lot of, you know, a high body count. There's some women out there that mean that. They'll say that and they mean that. There's some women out there. Yeah. It turns them off. Like, man, you just a player. It turns them off. Yeah, some women like that. But the vast majority of women that I came across when I was in the trenches, heavy, right? The fact that other women knew I was messing with her and her and her and her. They knew it, and they still came up like, what's up? What's happening? They was ready to get down. So, no. And the guys that I knew who were the good guys, the real good guys, and they was getting nowhere, bro. Nowhere. The guys that had, you know, maybe a 3 or 4 body count, like, you know, he's been with 4 women since middle school, 4 long-term relationships, and now he's single. We in our mid-20s. He wasn't getting no play. She wasn't trying to holler at dude. He didn't come with the right vibe. Kids love to use that word these days. He didn't come with the right vibe. Lady Navo's in the building. What's good, sis? Brother Dusto's in the building as well, man. What's good, fam? How you feeling, bro? Hey, Brother Dino was saying, the woman in white impresses me. She works on an oil rig out by Texas and owns about 10 properties already. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, you watched the whole thing, cuz that's what's up. She even forgot she has a business development project happening. I did not know that, man. I didn't watch this whole thing. Maybe I need to go back. I'm gonna have to go on Rumble and watch this thing in its entirety. But this clip right here I thought was pretty good. What I'm hearing Sneako and this woman say, and this other woman say, is I want a guy who's top tier, who has his pick of the litter, who all the women want, but I want him to be this pristine, you know, white knight kind of thing. And I'm telling you, that's like saying that I want to play football, but I want 5 downs, bro. The rules are the rules. We know what I mean? We don't get to change the rules. The rules are the rules. I would love to play baseball. At my at bat, I want to get 4 strikes, right? And I want to get, you know what I mean, 3 balls and I can take a walk. You can't change the rules. This is what it is. Who are the guys that are the most successful in the sexual marketplace right now? The F boys, the Chads, the Tyrones, the Pookies, the Ray Rays. That's who. Who's getting brutalized? The simpletons and the good guys. They're getting brutalized because they fail to accept the way the game is today. That's just what it is. Yeah, old rig work is no joke, man. I'm shocked that she's out there and she's surrounded by men, and that's why they talk about her persona. This woman in the white top, her persona is that of a man. Like, she's very hardcore. Why? Because she's out there on oil rigs doing her thing. Even if she's not out there with the chain whipping around the thing, and maybe she's in the office, but she's still on that rig. Right? She's still out there. If something goes bad, she's got to figure out how to get off that rig and be floating around in the Gulf of Mexico or floating around out there in, the Pacific Ocean until someone comes and rescue her with the other dudes. Still very dangerous to be there, but let's continue.
Being okay, I'm here, I can get a lot of women, to I'm here, I can get a lot of women, and I still choose to be selective
question I was
about
gonna
how I
ask.
give my body.
Yeah. And what's
So
a more
you can-
valuable man? A man who can get a lot of pussy and chooses not to so that he can focus on his mission, or a guy who can get
Yes.
pussy and then focuses all his time on fucking the women?
So you just showed women that you give it out, right? You're not this person, you're this person, which is, it's better than being down here, but you're not up here.
Okay.
I thought you were smart.
You see how they're trying to, this is again a shaming tactic you get all the time. How dare you work yourself to a position where you can be with any woman you want and you exercise that option? How dare you? Now, I will say this. I talk to dudes all the time. Guys are like, I'm a player, I'm a baller, I'm a top tier guy. I always say this, like, can you say no to a dime? That's one of my things. I when I'm out there watching people move in the world, I'm talking to these guys. If I'm in, the manosphere spaces or whatever, I'm paying attention to these dudes. All these dudes will be talking all this game about being top tier and all these 304s ain't no good. And then the minute some woman comes walking up to the table or whatever, they drop everything and 100% of their focus is on this woman they're trying to smash. And I sit back and I watch them work, and they go crazy. And the woman is just like, this dude, man, he thirsty. And so what does she do? She walks over and sits down next to someone like me. And the guys will be like, hey, Unc, how you do that, man? You just a big old pimp. Like, she knows that I ain't got to be with her. I ain't got to be bothered. She knows I ain't trying to get at her. So she's going to come over next to me. She's going to run her game. People want what they can't have, right? I don't care how fine she is. If she says something I don't like, or she's moving a certain way or wearing stuff that I don't like or whatever, I won't holler at her, bro. And if she throws herself at me, I can say no to a dime. To me, that puts you on a separate level. And I'm not doing it because I'm trying to say that I'm better than or whatever. I'm doing it because, like, she just ain't worth the time. I see the problems with her already. She's just a pretty face and a big butt. So what? Right? Them are the dudes that are the true top tier dudes, in my opinion. And they're talking about that, but they're trying to say, well, if you're not this guy, you less than. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And they're like, well, what's the mission? Dude's mission might be to smash as many women as he possibly can. There are dudes out there, that's all they want to do is smash. That might be his mission. I'm going to go out here and smash as many women as I possibly can. And if that's his mission, hey, man, do you, bro. You know what I mean? Airborne, go make that happen. There's some dudes out there who's like, all right, I done smashed, I did what I did. I understand female nature. All right, I got through pretty much unscathed, right? So now I can sit back and pick the kind of woman that I want. You got those guys, right? But he chooses to do that. You got guys who like they're still doing the work. Like, man, I ain't got time for none of that. I want a fun time girl. I want a girl who's gonna come over here and look pretty. We're gonna smash. She gonna go get other girls. I'm gonna get my threesomes and foursomes in, and I'm gonna continue to do this work. You got them guys. But all these dudes are choosing what they want to do. And that's the point that Myron and Fresh are trying to make. You know what I mean? It's like human instincts always dominate judgment. That's Casual Germ. Scam likely saying the most valuable man to a woman equals the man that they value the most. They decide what they value. Facts. Women always decide how it goes down, bro. At the end of the day. I said this before. I don't care what guru you talk to. I don't care what pickup artist you talk to. There are no words Like you say these 10 words that she's gonna come home and sleep with you every single time. That's not how it works. The way it works is you are observant enough to understand that she's into you. You've picked up on her choosing signals, or you saw what time it is. You sat back and you did what you're supposed to do. You didn't put your foot in your mouth. If a woman decides she wants to do something with you, she's gonna do something with you. That's the bottom line. That's just how that works. So she's gonna choose, bro. She's gonna choose. Most guys just don't understand that. They just don't understand that. And they believe that, well, if I shower her with gifts and attention, then, eventually, you know what I mean? When my ship comes in, like Andrew Tate would say, she'll want to do something. Nah, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. Appreciate that, Casual Germ. I can agree. That's not how it works at all. Women choose. Dude, just have, as a guy, you have to figure out which woman is choosing you and not put your foot in your mouth, bro. That's how it works. So, but Sneako and this woman are trying to make the case that of the top tier men, the ones who are picky are the highest value man. I don't agree with that at all.
Smart, man.
Look,
God damn.
whether the man chooses to enact on his high sexual market value or not is a personal choice. But my point is, you need to have the sexual market value where you can choose. I want the man to be able to choose.
Okay, but once you have that choice,
Yes.
Yeah.
what is a more successful man? Somebody who chooses to enact on all his sexual desires, or somebody who chooses not to, so that he could focus his energy on his mission?
That's the freedom.
Someone who
though.
You see what I mean? He's like, okay, but once the guy can choose, then what? Well, it's up to dude. What do you mean? Sneako, I don't understand that question, bro. If I'd been in a room, I'm like, Sneako, what do you mean? And Fresh started to really press him on some stuff too. Like, Sneako, what are you talking about? That guy gets to choose. He's done the work, right? His body is together. He has money. He has all of the trappings that you need that women kind of like to see: the nice car, the nice house, you know what I mean? Jewelry, if that's what he wants to wear, nice timepieces, shoes, like designer, whatever. Right? Okay, cool. He's done the work. He's become a top tier guy. If his mission is to smash 3 girls a night, then that's what he can go do. If he can pull it off. If his mission is to go find his 0.001% woman, then he can go look for her too. If he chooses, that's his prerogative. But what Myron says and what Fresh says, I got to back 100%. Do the work, become the guy who gets to choose. Put yourself in a position where women are coming to you. So you don't have to be thirsting after one woman or another. You can, she's trying to get at me, she's a dime, holler at her. She's trying to get at me, she's a dime, holler at her. That's all that they're saying. Right? That's it. Just to sit back and say, well, because he chose this, then he's bad or he's good. Like, nah, bro, that's his choice. The game is over. He's done the work. Now he's in a different realm. That's all that they're talking about. You know what I mean? Your brother Casual Germs, like, speaking of masculine women, I'd rather hire them than men for security. Wow. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. I think it depends on the detail, but I think I would rather have dudes. Let me get a big monster guy that can, handle business with his hands, even though he's armed. Because even with security, if they get into a situation where they don't have control, they're going to go for their weapon. It's going to, lethal force is going to be used. I'd rather have guys who can resort to lethal force as a last resort, as opposed to a woman who might get herself in a situation where she's physically overpowered. Now she's going to have to get that weapon out. You know what I mean? Like this, Scarlett Johansson, when she plays the Black Widow, man, that's just movie magic. Women ain't fighting like that, bro. Like you just, but you can get you a monster of a dude that's just, snatching people up and just slamming them down and not grabbing their weapon. So I would have to disagree with you there when it comes to security. When it comes to security. Now, there's different forms. I wouldn't mind having them on the team. I wouldn't have, having them do there's certain things that they could do that I think would be more suited for women. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't mind sending women in as part of the point, like my point team, like my advanced team. They're going to go in and assess the situation, see what's going on. They can do that pretty good. But when it comes down to, putting your hands on folks, I'm gonna want to have the gorillas right next to me, bro. I want to have those dudes, and I know like the last thing they're gonna do is grab a weapon. The last thing they're gonna do, as opposed to, like if you're dealing with a female, that might be one of the first things she has to do is to grab a weapon. So I would have to disagree with you there just a little bit, bro.
Has
That's the freedom.
discipline.
No, that's the freedom. As a man, you choose for yourself what's best for you and your family.
That's the W. Is
Same
the
thing for a
ability to
woman.
choose is the W.
Okay, if you choose what's best for you and your family.
No, wait, no. You're determining moral standards for each person, right? Ultimately,
It's not moral.
What?
It's a success question, and you're saying what's best for you and your family. I can't see any scenario where fucking a bunch of women is good for you and your family.
Thank you.
Well, again, if the man wants to have a family or not is up to him. I'm just saying
But
in
you
general.
said family.
But it could be. I'm just saying for him, it might be maybe his dog. I don't know. Whatever it is for him. I'm just saying as a man, make a choice for yourself.
Okay, but once you this is a question that I haven't seen brought up on this podcast. Once you have that choice, what should the optimal man be doing? Should he be exercising that and fucking a bunch of women, or deciding not to so he could use his energy? Because fucking a bunch of whores, we all know how much energy that is. It's a bunch of time, it's a bunch of semen, it's all this energy, it's super conversations, it's headaches. What is a better use of your time, and what is a metric of a more successful guy?
It depends. Then now we need to go into his age, what.
So what he's saying, Rich Cooper has been saying forever. Robo Talbasi has been saying forever. Coach Greg Adams, man, chase excellence, not women. Right? Chase excellence. Because most of the baddies, most of the women are at the finish line waiting to smash the winners. Now that's, here's the thing. There are women who will build with their men, but there are a lot of women who are like, let me just sit back and wait. Let me see who wins, especially women who still have their beauty, still have their youth. They're going to sit back and wait like, okay, dude has a boat, dude has a private jet, dude is a CEO of this or that. Yeah, I'm going to holler at him, right? You should, I would say as a young guy, you should be chasing excellence. I look back on my life and I look back on my 20s and 30s and even my 40s, right? I should have been chasing excellence, but I wasn't. I was chasing women and it cost me. Right? It cost me. Just keep it 100. Had I chased excellence and just would have been building whatever I wanted to build, I still would have got the same baddies that I was chasing and ignoring the excellence, right? So, yeah, I wish Myron or Fresh had thought of that for a moment. It was like, no, men should chase excellence. However, it's the man's choice. And that's what Myron and Fresh were trying to drive home. You can do what you want to do. When it comes to morality or it comes to business decision or what you plan to do moving forward, that is an individual choice. Again, once you cross that threshold and you become the man that women want to holler at, bro, you can do what you want, man. You hold all the cards, bro. All your cards. You got all of the draw forwards, man. You got all of the wild cards. You can do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Brother Casual is like, yeah, as team members. I should have been more descriptive. Yeah, man, that's the hardest thing with, when you have to chat stuff in, you type it in and it's like, that's not pretty much what I meant. You know what I mean? So then you got to try to hurry up and catch it, type it in there again before it's too much of a block, time goes between the two texts. I feel you on that, bro. I feel you, man. Brother Smee was in the building. What's good? Good day, bro. We over here breaking down the Sneako Fresh and Fit video. Let's continue.
What he still has left to do. Where he
30
is
years
alive,
old.
all that matters.
30 years old, he's a millionaire. He has the options. Like, what's a better thing for him?
Does he want to scale his business up and make even more money? Then
Every guy does.
Okay,
Every guy does.
In that case, then yeah, he should probably focus on his business and not bitches. Of course. But it depends on the guy. Every guy's different. My thing is, I just want the guy. My thing is, I want the man to have the high sexual market value so he can choose. The problem is that most guys are losers and they have to deal with the cards that they're dealt with and they don't have the choice. That's my problem. And then the girl ends up choosing.
There's a bunch of losers that fuck a bunch of bitches.
So then why do you fall for it?
What's the difference?
Don't fall for it.
Wait. If you have a lot of money.
Women chronically, here's the thing. Women chronically overestimate how much men actually get laid. Guys don't get laid as
on
much
whatever
as you
level,
think.
though. It's the same thing on this level or this level.
They're not fucking as much as you think, dude. I'm telling you. You think if men were...
And that's a fact. That is a fact. The average dude is not smashing like that, man. The numbers bear that out. That's all mainstream media is talking about right now. Breaking Points today, they had a segment on there, and man, I may have to find it. where they're saying that young women and men are becoming further and further apart. Like you see, like the men under 30 years old, you know, y'all know that stat, 33.3%, I think it might be more now, of men under 30 has had 0 sexual partners in a year, like one or none, like very, very little sexual access. Think about that, man. Under 30, whereas women, they're having intimacy at the same levels they've always had. It is what it is. So when women say stuff like that, like, man, these guys are just smashing everybody, like, no, the dudes that you see are smashing everybody. Just like I said earlier in this stream, when I was at my peak, I'm sitting back, man, trust me, every woman that knew me back in the day knew what time it was. They knew what time it was, man. I didn't have to do any kind of simpleton tactic or nothing. I didn't need money. I was driving around in a Mazda, I had a Honda. I mean, at one point I had an Audi Quattro Coupe, you know what I mean, at one point, but it didn't matter what kind of car I was driving. You know, I could be driving around in a Mazda. I had a little Ford that I bought at an auction once. I'm driving around in that. It did not matter what I pulled up in. They knew what time it was, man. And a lot of the women would come see me. I wasn't living in no penthouse nowhere, man. We had me and my cousin, man. We had like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. At one point, we had a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and then we leveled up to a townhouse. We got into the townhouse, man. We had to literally pick people up, pick women up, and put them outside. Like, you gotta go. We couldn't get them to leave. Like, there's people like, we don't even know you, shorty. Get out. So it wasn't about the money and all of the kind of stuff, bro. It was about having game, and women knew. You sitting around, be house full of women. Like, they be like, man, you messing with all these girls. I'm like, not all of them. Not all of them. But it didn't matter. You got a problem with it? All right, cool. I'm going right over here to her. I'm going to go talk to her right there. And they knew it. So I'm cool with what Myron and Fresh is saying. Guys need to get put on game so they understand it. They can get into a position where they get to choose, and you don't have to be a millionaire to do that. You don't have to be making 6 figures. You don't have to be 6 feet or higher. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like ripped up in shape. You know what I mean? All these things help. You want to be the best version of yourself, but I knew plenty of dudes who were fat, getting it on with dimes, bro. Chicks that were in love with them, and not all of them were D-boys. You know, D-boys, they were in the game, like the drug game. Nah, some of them were, but most of them were just out of the hood like us, man. Just out here talking. They hollering at these girls. It is what it is. Let's continue.
We're actually smashing as much chicks as they would. They will hire the girls to kick them in the balls.
No.
If you think if guys, hold on. If you think about this, would the porn industry be a multi-billion dollar industry if men were getting as laid as much as women think?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
so they're not.
Right.
Real quick though, Myron, you said something that I heard a contradiction. You said that every guy is different, but a lot of times you say that every guy's the same and we all have the same mission. Every guy wants to be the best. Yeah. Every guy wants to get to the top. Now every guy's different when it comes to choosing how much.
Every guy's top is different. For one guy might be making $100,000 a year. Another guy might be being a millionaire. Another guy might be, I just want to make $50K per year. Like every guy's top is different.
But every guy, when they get to 100K, when they get that goal, what do they want? They want more. Every guy wants to conquer.
You can't say that.
No, complacency is a feminine.
Yeah, like a lot of people were getting on Sneako for this, man. You know, my thing is shout out to Sneako, bro. I ain't gonna lie to Sneako, man. Shout out to you, Sneako. You want people in your circle that's going to challenge your beliefs. Having someone like Sneako around is good for that. He is challenging their belief. If you can't defend your belief system, then maybe you need to rethink it. Having someone like Sneako around, I think, is a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, like he just said, like Myron broke it down perfectly. Every guy's goals are different. There are dudes out there that just want money, man. And it's never going to be enough. They get to 100,000 a year, they want to make 500,000 a year. They get to 500,000 a year, they want to make 1.8 million a year. They're always going to be driven by that type of success. Their success is measured in dollars. There's people like that. There are people like me when I was in high school. My guidance counselor got mad at me. They bring you in your senior year. My guidance counselor was like, and this is the only time I ever saw my guidance counselor my senior year, to be honest with you. Went in there like, so You're like, okay, so you're a senior. Okay, so basically, what are you gonna do? What kind of career are you gonna get into? And my answer to him was, I want to make. He's like, what are your goals? That's what it was. What are your goals? What are your, professional goals? Where are you trying? Where do you see yourself in 3 years, 5 years, whatever you were saying? And I said, my goal is to make $50,000 a year or the equivalent. This was 1989. I'm having this conversation. I was like, my goal is to make $50,000 a year or the equivalent. And then he could not wrap his head around that. What do you mean? Well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'll do whatever makes $50,000 a year, the equivalent. And he was like, well, give me an example. Law enforcement. Cops at the time, cops were like at $40,000 a year in Cincinnati, Ohio, with overtime was over 50. So I could be a cop, could be a fireman. I was like, I could be a bus driver. With overtime, they make over 50 grand. I could, I could work for a garbage collector. That's a city job with benefits and everything. So I was like, I'm willing to do whatever position comes my way that's gonna pay me that much money. And he did not like that answer at all. We went round and around for about 15 minutes. Finally, I was like, look, man, I enlisted in the United States Army. He was like, okay, good, get out. That's how that ended. But for me, the goal was $50,000 a year because that was a good living in Cincinnati. It still is. Funny, huh? All these years later, man, I was back in 1989. All these years later, here's 2024. You can still live pretty good in Cincinnati, 50 grand a year. I mean, you ain't balling, but you ain't broke. But that was my goal. I want to make that. That's what I want to make. If I got to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever, that was my goal. Now, looking back on it, if the manosphere was a thing back then, I would have modified that goal. My goal would have been, I want to own 2 or 3 properties by the time, I want to have this many doors by the time I'm 26 or something like that. That's where my goal, that's where my mind should be. I really messed up. And that's why I love this platform. We can have those conversations. I messed up. It shouldn't have been a monetary goal. I should have been thinking about, secure wealth, right? I should have been thinking about getting properties that, investments that will make me money, as opposed to just $50,000 a year. I could buy myself a nice Nissan, right? I can live in a cool little condo somewhere. Nah, I should have been thinking, let me go buy some houses. Let me go buy some buildings. Let me go buy some units, the 4-plex, 3-plex, that's what I should have been thinking. But there are guys who have monetary goals. There are guys out there who are like, hey man, I just want, I want a nice career. I want to be able to wear a suit to work, right? There are those dudes out there. I just want to be able to wear a suit to work. So I'm gonna go work for the bank, right? I'm gonna go work for Fifth Third or Provident or Chase or Bank of America or whatever, or City. And I'm gonna go to work with my suit and tie on, and they're gonna pay me $28,000 a year, but he doesn't care because he's wearing a suit. There are those guys, right? And again, it's like, all right, cool. These are your own goals. This is what Myron was trying to get across to Sneako. Say, hey man, it depends on the guy. Sneako's like, no, you're gonna always want to get this, and this. Not all dudes. When it comes to womanizing, there are dudes out there who got game. They are gamed up because they are looking for a certain type of woman, and they have the game so they can run through and find her. There are guys out there who might smash, they might run through 10, 15, 20 girls a year or more, but they're looking for a certain type of woman. There's some other dudes who are like, I just want a girlfriend, and they don't care. They get the girl, they got a girlfriend, they're happy. They don't care. Everyone has their own goals. And what Myron and Fresh are saying is, hey, young men, we're going to show you how to build yourself up, how to make yourself the best version of yourself so you can choose the type of woman you want to be with. How do you know that she a freak like that? How do you know she a 304 if you ain't ever been with some 304s? That makes tons of sense. Let's continue.
I have friends on a certain level. Some have kids. Some don't. Some want to travel the world, fuck girls. It's all a level of success.
But the masculine imperative is always to grow and always to expand and conquer more.
Yeah, but in different ways, though.
Yeah.
More kids, more businesses.
Some guys might focus, make that money, and then be like, all right, damn, man, I don't got no bitch. I want to fuck some bitches. And then they go on and fuck bitches, conquering quest. And they're like, you know what? I want to make more money. Or, yo, I just want to get in the gym. Yo, I want to learn how to fight. Like they'll go ahead and like take a conquest, and maybe it might be a new endeavor.
Yeah, but the mistake is calling fucking bitches a conquest.
Right.
That's not a real conquest.
How is that not a conquest? That's very difficult to do. That is very difficult to do. That is in fact a conquest, bro. You wanna flex? You wanna flex? Walk into the room and sit back and know that you done smashed the top 5 most beautiful women in the room right now. They done all smash you, and they still looking at you. They come up to you, they hug you, kiss you on the cheek. They still want to be with you. Bro, no one cares about what kind of car you drove to that event. They don't care about what kind of clothes you're wearing. They don't care how tall you are, how fit you are. All they know is you smashed the top 5 most beautiful women in the room. Women know this and the men know this. And you ain't even got to tell them. The girls would say it like, yeah, you know, I used to date him. He's cool, whatever. It'll catch like wildfire throughout the whole room. Everybody in there, man, look, you the man. People buying you drinks. Hey, man, come sit at my table. Why? Because he's going to bring the finest women over here. Everybody going to want you to be sitting next to them. In reality, they want to sit next to you. It is 100% a flex. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that. We just said more than a third of men under 30, they can't even get a woman. And you sitting there next to you got the dude who done smashed the top 5 in your city, in the room. He done ran through the top 5 most beautiful women in the room. Come on now. Who is dude? Man, bring dude over here. Right? He ain't simping. He ain't doing the simpleton tag. He ain't game goofy. He got them women bringing him drinks. You still drinking Hennessy? I am. Thank you, love. Appreciate it. She ain't got some other dude to buy that drink, and she walked it over to you. That's a flex. That's a flex. You can have Ferraris, Bentleys. You could be living in a penthouse, right? Your bank account could be like 10 figures. But if you can't get women, bro, that still puts you in a certain category. Like, yeah, dude got money, but man, his game jacked up. These women finessing the hell out of dude. They gonna look at you a certain way. Some dudes might not even want to do business with you. Like, man, he can't even focus long enough so we can take care of this business. As soon as a woman run up, you chasing her. Man, I don't want to deal with him. You see what I'm saying? So it's a flex. Man, I don't understand why Sneako doesn't see this.
Conquest is creating something new, is becoming number one in a certain aspect in a field. Do you actually think that
Sneako, that's easy for you to say after you fuck a bunch of bitches? Like,
after doing it yourself,
that happens so often, man. You get dudes like Sneako. Sneako's trying to figure it out, but hey, we're gonna keep it 100, bro. And I ain't putting out no business that everybody don't already know. But this guy done went through some young dimes. You heard me? Dimes. Like those who know. Dimes. Right? And now he's like, well, now that I done had my feel, now that I done did what I wanted to do, that's not conquering. Conquering is building a new community. Conquering is saving a puppy or something, whatever he thinks conquering is. Like, come on, man. You out here right now, you can pick up your phone and have a legit 10 come over and do whatever with you right now, bro. That's still a flex, homie. That's still a flex. Now that you're not doing it anymore, like, that's, just try, yo. I ain't mad at those guys, but I laugh at them dudes, man. Like, man, cut it out. Fresh is trying to, you know what I mean? Fresh is trying to get the words out. Like, are you for real? Are you for real? Like, bro, I seen what Sneako can pull with these old eyes, bro. Didn't even need my glasses. The women was so fine. I was like, yo, I see you, boy. I see you. You know what I'm saying? I already know what time it is. And now he's like, well, he's had an epiphany. Now, here's the thing. This happens. This happens a lot. I've had epiphanies. I told Fresh he's going to have one day. The day is going to come when Fresh has one as well. He's going to wake up one day and like, you know what? I'm tired of running these chicks. If you are a guy who's in the position where you are out here getting top tier women, who are the top tier women? The dimes, the baddies, right? You're getting them. all the time. You running dimes like when your rotation consists of nothing but 9s and 10s. You're at the peak, right? 9s and 10s, bro. That's women who make money just because they're beautiful. That's women who command the world in the palm of their hand. These young girls who can get anything they want. Those are the 9s and 10s. Right? When you dealing, that's all you dealing with is 9s and 10s. I told Fresh, like, man, the day will come when you get tired of this, bro. He's like, I know. Hasn't come yet, though. Like, I know. I ain't mad at you, bro. We was standing in this crib. He was sitting there, he was playing Smash Bros, waiting on a chick to show up. One that just left. You know what I mean? And this ain't me. I ain't, putting Fresh's game out there. He tells you this all the time. Dude knows what he's doing. At some point, he's gonna get tired of it. Now, Sneako seems to have gotten tired of it, but now he's gonna say, "Well, none of y'all should do it." Man, stop it. Listen to me, young men, old men, all men. Listen to me. If you can get dimes at will, if you can get women, if you can get the average woman, have a relationship, it's physical. Don't lie to her now. Tell her what time it is. Run your game. Get her to come back to the crib. Go to her crib, whatever. Go to the telly. Do what y'all do. Keep her cool. She's still happy. If you can do that with multiple women, bro, that's what's up. Keep doing it. Keep doing it until you don't want to anymore. I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to. I'm going to tell you to be careful. Know the laws of the land. Don't make any babies. Right? Know who you dealing with. Deal with women who ain't trying to do that. Right? There's a whole nother conversation that needs to be had. But if you can do it, if you can get women to want to come holler at you and you good at womanizing, go ahead and do it. Because the vast majority of men cannot. Now, once you get tired of it, if you find, you find Jesus or Allah or the great oak or whatever it is you find later in your life, right? And you want to have your epiphany and change, that's fine. But don't you go back there and tell other men not to do it. Not after you done did it. No, don't do that. Keep it 100. Tell them how cool it was when you was doing it. Right? And then let them do their thing. Brother John's in the building. What's good, fam? Like, tell her how it is, DL. Hey, man, I'm just trying to keep it 100. Brother Smeebles, he has most likely never struggled on this issue, so he is thinking this is easy. Why ain't everyone doing it? I think Sneako understands how difficult it is for people to pull, bro. He just, he found religion, and he's trying to say, well, the religious text says that you should be this way. Come on, man. Them dudes were smashing everything, man. One of my favorite stories in the Old Testament, man, is Samson. Like Samson, bro. He was wrecking 304s left and right. That's all he wanted. That was his Achilles heel. And it cost him. It cost him. They sent the number 1 304 in that area to find out his weakness. Go find out his weakness. We'll pay you. We'll pay you. And it took her a few times, took her a few tries, but she figured it out. And she gave that information to Samson's enemies. And they got his ass. For a little bit. If y'all don't know how that story ends, you should read it. Read the book. Read about Samson and Delilah. Brother Smeebles, just like you said, DL, he's bored because it's easy for him now and gone through a lot. Facts. And he wants to sit there and say, don't do it. I will never tell a guy not to womanize. I will never say don't do it. I would say learn game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know my acronym, ABTS, always be talking shit. Go out there and run your game. Go out there and see what it's like. Be careful though. You know what I mean? Like don't get caught up. There's so many ways you can get caught up. Be careful. But I will never say don't do it. I mean, I had some amazing experiences, bro. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. And it made me who I am, man. But I mean, for these dudes who've never experienced it, got so many dudes out here who, like the dark side of the manosphere out there. They all these women ain't no good and this and that. Like, bro, you just ain't got no game. Don't get mad because she ain't trying to holler at you. And then you want to blame, well, it's because I'm short, or it's because I don't have money, or it's because I don't have the certain type of jawbone or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not, Wheat Waffle says it's not my fault. It's because I'm ugly. Come on, bro. It's all about game. You can do it, but you got to be able to put in the work, man. Everybody does not get a trophy, man. Life does consist of winners and losers, and right now you're a loser, bro. Right? So these guys is like, if you want the easy code, go out and make a couple $1 million. She'll come see you then, but she's only there for your money. You're still gonna need game to negotiate that. You want another cheat code? Get your passport. Go to some country somewhere, some second or third world country. Okay, fine, but she still will probably, if you don't have game, you won't see if she's trying to set you up. Wound up getting robbed, kidnapped, or worse. We cover that over here all the time.
Okay, this is a stupid ad hominem.
No,
this is a genuine question.
Be respectful, everybody.
Well, I didn't mean you. I meant in general.
You're ignoring my point. Do you think that fucking bitches is a conquest?
For some men, it is.
Yeah. No. In general, because
For you guys,
do you advocate for that?
Sneako, question for you.
You guys are dodging. No. But real quick, fresh before you interject. We always say that every guy's the same, right? We always say that on this podcast. Every guy has the same exact desire. We all want to conquer. We all want to be number one, right? And then when it comes to fucking bitches, guys are different. So yes or no, is fucking bitches a conquest?
Everyone, see Sneako. Sneako's really good at these debates, the way he words things. I would argue that the vast majority of men want some sort of sexual access with women, period. I will say that. And then the degree of that depends on the dude. Some guys really just want that one woman that he could love, cherish, support, protect, have a kid, have a house, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, 2 cars. And if he can have her at home, if that's what she want to do, he would love that. But I think that most dudes just want a female companion. I would say that. Most dudes want a female companion. Most men. The vast majority of men have trouble getting there. Just to that point. Right now, like we talk about spinning place and having a rotation of women and all that kind of stuff. There are dudes out there who learn game as best they can. They learn some of this, some female nature stuff. They go out there and they find a little bit of success, but they really just want that one girl. So they're happy they got a woman, but they managed to snag something that's 2 or 3 points above where they should be. And that woman winds up getting the better of them because they stopped working on that game. They stopped. I got the woman that I want. We're married. We have a kid. She's going to love me forever and ever till the end of time. Nah, bro. 7 years in, she might want a divorce. And then that same guy comes back to the RP world, comes back to the manosphere, and he's like all hateful and this and that. Like, bro, it's your fault, man. You should have saw this coming, bro. You can't just learn a little bit of game, get this, and then think you're great. You still need to master the game if you want to be successful at said game. So Sneako is trying to say that all men just want to smash endless amounts of women. They want all this Foxy Brown, and that's all they want out of life. That's not true. That's not true. All men, I would say the vast majority of men, 99.9, 99.8, something like that, percent of men, we're just making that number up, wants a significant other, female significant other, right? That's what he wants. He wants someone who loves him, that he loves, that he can come home to and work hard for, and that's what he wants. And up until probably the 90s, mid to late 90s, that was a thing. But once technology changed, it's harder and harder to get that. It's harder and harder to get that. And you have to be able to discern which woman is really into you versus the woman who just wants to have a man or wants to have a wedding or whatever, or is looking at you and like, well, I can get with this guy and I'm working with a net kind of thing. You need that game to understand that, bro. You need to understand when the relationship has some sort of rift, something happens. You need to be able to see that and then try to figure it out. Like, okay, let me figure this out. Let me see what's going on and prepare yourself. Like, all right, this is what's going to happen. Let me get ready. Let me get ready. I knew a guy who got married in California, doing his thing, had a great thing. She started doing some stuff that wasn't right. He saw right away. This is a dude who was gamed up, had a baby face, real quiet guy. Most women thought that he was just, oh my God, he's just so sweet and innocent. He was a beast. He was doing his thing, wrecking shop. Found a woman. He's like, okay, I'm gonna marry her, whatever. They were doing their thing. And he realized she was up to something. Right? Okay, cool. He's checking it out. He's like, all right, this ain't working. I'm gonna have to get divorced. I gotta leave this woman. So he moved to Texas. He moved her to Texas, where the divorce laws were in his favor. And he divorced her. Divorced her, bro. I tell people all the time, know the game. That's part of the game, ain't it? Don DeMarco to my guy. Right? Most dudes never do that. Right? My brother Perry Davis Jr., Esquire. Right? We've had Perry on. I need to call Perry up. I ain't talked to Perry in a minute. I need to call Perry up. See where he's traveling to. He's always being in Medellin. I don't know where he's at these days. But Perry said that he's a divorce lawyer, by the way. He's a lawyer, but he's worked in family law, criminal law as well, but he's done a lot of work in family law. And he says, women plan, men react. Remember that, y'all. Women plan. This is all part of the game. You got to understand this, y'all. This is game. Women plan, men react. This platform, Manosphere area, this is what we're trying to let y'all know. Y'all better start planning. My buddy that I just told you about moved from California to Texas to get divorced to divorce a woman that he knew was up to some fuckery. He planned. Yeah, he lost a little bit, but it was fair. It was fair. Had he stayed in California, man, she would have rocked his world. She would have rocked him. He took it to Texas. Took care of business. So you should be planning because women are planning. She thought all was well because, again, he's quiet and he's, reserved, and she thought she was just going to run him. Nah, she got ran. Shout out to my people. I ain't going to say his name. But it is what it is. You know what I mean, Brother Smeebles? Men want to conquest. But it all depends what conquest he wants to focus on. Women, money, athletics, etc. Some men make women their conquest, but they're broke. Some men conquest money, but can't get a woman. This area is person specific. Facts. But again, I would argue that I would say the vast majority of men want a significant other. Some dudes want a bunch of chicks, right? Some dudes, everything you said, Brother Smith, I agree with, but I think that most dudes would love to have their better half, quote unquote, or that significant other right with them. A lot of dudes want that. But most dudes can't get there. They can't get there. And then dudes who do get there, a lot of them get wrecked. The average guy just gets wrecked because he's like, oh, I made it, finish line, I'm here, this is great. And she gets bored or whatever. He doesn't notice. Next thing you know, he's getting served papers and he's being put out of his own home. Right? Brother John, you have to sift through the bad girls to know what a good girl is. Sneako probably just found a good one to keep around. It's a good point, bro. And that's what the game really is, man. Learning how to figure out what type of woman you're dealing with.
Sneako.
You're not answering a simple question.
I'm answering the question.
That's the end. You always call the bitches out for doing that.
What did you do? What's up? What did you do?
Bro, I made mistakes, man. I'm saying it was a giant waste of my time and energy.
Yes.
If I had optimized my time when I was 17, 18, watching porn because I was psyoped to think that sexual hypergamy was the best thing, I believed because I've been so, like, everything on the media was telling you fuck girls. You listen to the music, fuck bitches get money, fuck bitches get money. That's what you think you have to do. Now I'm older, I realized that was all a Zionist lie. They shove porn in your face. Who controls the porn industry? They control the music industry. Who's telling you to go sleep with all these girls? This was a lie. I was told that this is what you're supposed to do and that this is a conquest. Being with girls is not a conquest whatsoever. Conquest is becoming number one in your field, is creating something new, is building something. That absolutely, that's not a conquest. Just because I did it doesn't take away from my point. I should not have done that. And if I wanted to get to where I am sooner, I would have avoided that completely. Did I learn anything really from that was that valuable? No. I learned like, well, pussy is pussy. It's wet. So my question, like, I really want to hear, because I want to hear, like, straight up, do you think that sleeping with women is a conquest as a man?
Speak into the microphone, please.
Again.
Yes, it is. And for him to sit there and say he didn't learn anything, he learned a lot. He learned a lot. Sneako knows the numbers. He knows how men struggle in this world when it comes to dating and getting women, right? Sneako learned a lot. Do I agree? Now, how to phrase this? Do I believe it's possible that he believes what he's saying right now? Yeah. That he wasted his time as a youngster and the whole PSYOP thing? Yeah. He's trying to blame the Jewish community for this. That's bullshit. I don't know where that comes from, right? I don't know where that comes from, bro. Like, that's weird, right? I got that part right there. Like, I don't know where that comes from. It's been like this, and Myron's about to make this point. It's been like this since the dawn of time, bro. Before Judaism, before Islam, before Christianity, bro. When Americans were out there worshiping the gods, this was going on. When Americans were out, I said Americans, I meant to say when people, not Americans, when people were out there worshiping the gods, right? The Romans, the Greeks, right? The Spartans, the Athenians, even beyond that, the Babylonians, bro. Like, you just keep going back. You're right. You don't keep going back. This has always been a thing. The Egyptians, you can go through and read letters. The Egyptians were sending back and forth to each other. They were complaining about the same stuff, man. Complaining about people not being loyal and, complaining about, girlfriends and wives cheating, and they sending them back to their moms and, their families or whatever. And then the families are mad because they got to now feed this woman who's out there being a 304. This stuff has been going on forever, man. Forever. Has nothing to do with any one religion. You know what I mean? That's the part. That's like a separate conversation right there, bro. Like, come on, man. How is this the Jewish community's fault, man? Cut that out. Cut that out. Myron's about to address that in a minute. But this is what I'm talking about, bro. It is absolutely a conquest. He did learn. Okay, he looks back on it, it's like, wow, I wasted a lot of time. I could have been doing this down the third grade. I said the same thing when I was younger. I did. I made a lot of mistakes. When we meet, when the Templars and I meet, I say it all the time. Like, man, I left a lot of money on the table. If I had focused on these other things instead of focusing on women, I'd be a lot better off today. And this is the message that I hope that people get from the RP world, from the manosphere, from Rich Cooper, from Myron, from Rollo Tomasi, and all the rest of them. Focus on excellence. Get your money, because the women will come. Right? They will come. Just like that movie, man. Build it, they will come. You build your, your future, you build your empire, women will come. You build a house, they're going to want to come live in it. Trust me, they're going to come. And Sneako has learned some invaluable lessons dealing with women. He knows better, especially as a young guy. He's like, okay, cool. I know who to leave alone. I know who to pursue. He wouldn't know that if he wasn't out there smashing these chicks like that. And it is what it is. So I think he's a little bit disingenuous in that point. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. You know what I mean? Brother Smeebles, dealing with all those women, it helped me open his eyes and become the man he is today. I believe he is lying in that area. I'm with you, bro. And I mean, because Sneako is on his next thing, he's like anti-manosphere, I guess. He's going to go out here. And again, it's good to have dudes like this to push back. All right, let me hear what you got to say. And it's like Myron and Fresh are both, talking to him about it. Like, again, this whole thing about this somehow is the Jewish community's fault. Like, where the hell did that come from? You know what I mean? That was a head scratcher. Like, what does the Zionists have to do with female nature? You know what I mean? With the sexual marketplace, bro. Right? Sneako's a tall dude. He's in shape. He has money. He has fame. He has clout. He has all that. That's why these women flock to him. He understands that. That's the thing. That's why they flock to him. He's been famous since he was a teenager. Right? I mean, they're going to continue to flock to him. Point blank. To say that women are a conquest, it is a conquest for those dudes who want to do it. That's fine. And it's hard to get women, bro. It's really difficult. It ain't easy. Even for the dudes like Sneako who get it pretty easy, still got to put in a little work. He was like, well, I wasted my time. That's one way to look at it, but he's still young enough to bounce back. Well, go out here now and put your time to good use. You know what it is.
Yes or no?
The question was, what's the conquest? I'll give you this. I think personally, family is important. And as a man, you should have a family. But again, that's my personal
yes
belief.
or no question.
Oh, wait, I'm getting there. But let's be real here. For most men, you could tell them all day, yo, don't fuck bitches, focus on business, and focus on money.
That's not what we're talking about.
But no, hold on. But what are they going to do? They want to fuck bitches just like you did. And then they go through it. All right, this ain't worth shit. I'm good. I want a family. I'm 34 years old now. I'm older guy. I know what I want. But guess what? They had to go through it to understand the principle. Yep. I can say all day, don't do this, don't do that. Bro,
people also have the desire to get high. This doesn't mean they had to become a crack addict.
Sometimes, especially for men, as we all think the same, we want to have sex with different women.
Okay,
it is what it is.
So yes, okay, you're yapping now. Is conquest?
To you.
Is that a conquest? Is sleeping with women? I want to ask both of you. Is sleeping with women a conquest as a man?
It can be.
Yes or no?
That you recommend.
Okay, you're not.
Is it a conquest that you recommend?
It can be.
Do you think that's a conquest as a man, sleeping with a bunch of women?
Are you asking me personally, or are you asking in general?
Well, we always say that men all think the same.
Both.
You know, we've been speaking in generalities the whole podcast. So let's speak it from the man's point of view, because we do all think the same in a lot of ways, in most ways. Is that a conquest?
Depends on the guy, bro.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So both
Depends on the guy.
It 100% depends on the guy. 100% depends on the guy. Is it a conquest? Yes. It is very difficult to get women, especially beautiful women. It might be easier to get the 2s, 3s, 4s. It might be easier, but you're still going to have to put in some work. It ain't simple. It's not like I could just go out here right now and see some chubby chick who's like a 3.5 or 4 and be like, like, why would I even want to do that? So, and a lot of that stuff too is like, you got to think about it. Like when you keeping score, it's not a flex for me to bring some really overweight, obese woman up into the spot. They won't even let me in the club. You live in a place like LA. LA ain't letting you in, man. You're going to have to pay like a ton of money to get an ugly person into the club, bro. Anyway, what are you doing? You have to bring beautiful people with you to get into the club. LA don't care. They don't care about your feelings. Everybody think that LA is so woke. Yeah, go out there and see how woke they are at night, trying to get into whatever the hottest nightclub is right now. Try to get your big fat girlfriend in there with you. See how much money it's going to cost you. You're going to have to buy a table. They're going to put you somewhere in the back right next to the kitchen door. Begin hitting the face every time they run in and out of the kitchen. Like boom, boom. All this wokeness and body positivity, man, whatever. Hollywood ain't trying to hear that. Not on Hollywood Boulevard, not on Sunset, not in West Hollywood, not in Santa Monica, right? They're not in Malibu. Go to Nobu in Malibu with your big girl and see how that works out for you there, Skippy. Y'all gotta understand, bro. It is a flex. It is an absolute flex. If you can get a beautiful woman, multiple beautiful women. Look at Michael Certain. Built a career on just hanging out with beautiful women. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mike. It is absolutely a flex. It is a flex. All right, look at the Playboy Mansion. What's his name? Y'all help me out in the chat, man. What's his name, man? He's gone now, but the Playboy guy, man, Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner, known for being that guy, made hundreds of millions of dollars for being that guy. It wasn't because they was taking nudie pictures of women in his magazine. Man, he had clubs around the world, top tier guys wanted to just, they paid to be a part of the Playboy Club. So, you know, get served drinks by women with bunny ears and a tail, a little cotton tail. Right? He lived that whole life, man. Is you telling me that Hugh Hefner isn't the ultimate flex? It hasn't been one since. And there'll never be another one. I know people like, well, what about Dan Bilzerian? Nowhere near Hugh Hefner, bro. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. So, and I can't think, I mean, who else? I think Dan Bilzerian will be like the closest thing to it. You know, Michael Surtan could probably pull something off like that if he started like a string of clubs or whatever, because he has, you know, that he has access to those type women. But Hugh Hefner was the guy built his whole legacy on that flex. So yeah, come on now. Thank you, bro. Hugh Hefner. Yep, I managed to get it out before. I knew it was gonna come to me. Y'all know I'm old. Appreciate that, brother Smeagol. You know what I mean? Yeah, brother Smeagol was talking about Sneako. I mean, like he has worked with Mr. Beast, and that's a massive thing when you look back when he did work with him. I didn't even know that, but yeah, I recently found that out. Like, oh, he used to work with Mr. Beast. Wow. I'm gonna say for most men, it is a conquest, even if they have given up on it, because when they do get it, it's a massive victory for them. Yeah, bro, you would. And like I said, if you can pull a 9 or a 10, I'm telling you, bro, it's a massive flex. I can't tell you how much clout I received in LA just because I can show up to a spot with 4 or 5 beautiful women with me. I never had to pay to get them in. I never had to wait in line, ever. My door guy was like, that's what's up. You making our club look the way we want it to look. They got me since before bottles, man. They had me set up in the area. Me and, you know, me and women, this was before bottles. They waitresses come out, take our orders or whatever. Come on now. Massive flex. And it still is to this day, brother Smeagol's. But if you're good with women, people notice that. And it brings the women and it just amplifies. And that's a fact. That's a fact. So yeah, it's a massive flex. Now, should a guy just focus his whole life on the conquest of just, you know, getting women to smash? I wouldn't recommend that. No, I wouldn't recommend that at all. But if that's what he wants to do, more power to you, man. Maybe he'll become the next Hugh Hefner.
When women come on the podcast and say, I don't want to have children, we're like, no, all women want to have children. That's a desire. But when it comes to sleeping with women, that's a personal decision. I mean, it's either we're all the same or we're not. We've been speaking in generalities the whole show.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Listen, both of you at the same time, since men always think the same, both of you at the same time. Is it a conquest? Yes or no? 1.
I got you.
2, both of you at the same time. 1.
Hold on.
2, 3. Everybody thinks the same.
Depends on the man.
Hold on. Men think the same, bottom heavy. That is true. At a certain level of tier of high value man, so to speak, there's a level of layer where, okay, I have a choice to make here. I can fuck bitches all day with money or create a family and start a legacy. Yeah. That's the choice that man have to make. So ultimately, I get what you're trying to say here. But listen, my opinion of that is my opinion. I can tell niggas all day, don't fuck bitches.
Yeah, but so what do you think? Right?
I don't think so.
This dodge is incredible. I'm asking you if it's a conquest.
I just said no. I just said no.
No, yes.
And you?
So no.
Say yes or no? Personally.
I've been through it. I can tell you, shout out without, I like better being with one woman, and also I want a family one day.
So yes.
But hold on. To understand
no.
Yes now, because you have done it in the past.
Wait. I did it though.
Exactly.
So I can tell you from my own experience, that's not what I want. But I did it.
It's 100%. It's the conquest is there. Is it the end all to be all? No. But is it going to guarantee you that clout? Is that going to push you up a tier or two? Like, does that make that? Will people perceive you as very high value because you're able to bring in some dimes? Yeah, man. Or just women in general. Like in the higher the quality of the woman, the more clout or perceived clout you bring to the table, man. And that's from dudes and from other women. Again, if you can bring in 20 chicken heads, man, ain't nobody really trying to rock with you, man. Like, all right, 20 chicken heads. All right, he got 20 women, but come on. You know what I mean? It's like, or you bring in 20, like, you know, very, very unattractive, overweight women that, you know, or you bring in some women who are like 6s and 7s, but they have terrible attitudes and they're walking around and their clothes ain't right and their hair ain't right and they don't know how to present themselves. You see what I mean? So on the one hand, yeah, you got access to women. You're doing better than the vast majority of men. But once you breach that threshold, okay, what type of woman are you getting? And the higher the tier of that woman, the harder it is to get her. Therefore, the better of a conquest it is. Now, since you spend your whole life just trying to go after women, I would say no. But if you want to, go right ahead.
I can't tell niggas that didn't do it.
Okay, so it's safe to say that all men go through that phase until they reach
No,
a
all men
certain
don't
age.
have to go through that phase.
No,
But most of them do.
No,
Most
a
of
lot
them
of them
go
don't.
through that age.
But you know what's funny? If they don't go through it, when they get married, what's gonna happen? Oh,
That's-
sorry,
that's-
baby.
That's
I
not
cheated
always
today.
true.
So
That's not always true.
it happens all the time, though.
I think
We
it-
say every day.
Based on what? Based on America, because in my country it doesn't really happen all the
There
time.
you go. The point is
Okay,
that
but yeah, that's where you live. Though.
men are going to think that they
We're in
want that
America.
when they've been programmed by the media, when they've been
Yeah.
programmed with the over sexualization that comes all from Zionism, when they believe that this is what they need in
Zionism?
order to be happy. That's where it always comes from. Porn is now, who controls porn? A rabbi. Who controls the music industry? And this is where all the sexualization comes from. So if we're going to say we need to go fight this,
This will be my only critique of Sneako, man, especially in this debate right here, bro. This has nothing to do with Zionism. It has nothing to do with the Jewish community. Cut that out. Cut that out, man. That's what leads to that anti-Semitic stuff, man. It's the same thing that they would say about my ancestors, bro. My ancestors. My grandfather served in Europe in World War II, man. And it would be German women and French women over there looking for their tails because all of the white soldiers told all the women that all the black soldiers had tails, like monkeys. They had tails. They keep them tucked in their uniform, and they thought that this would be enough to keep the women from wanting to go talk to the black GIs. Of course, it didn't work. Of course, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Because the women wanted what they wanted. But this is the kind of talk that leads to that type of shit. And this is like, if you know, I look forward to sitting down with Sneako. I'm gonna tell him, like, bro, that's dangerous talk right there. That's dangerous talk. You know, and you look at like religion, like Sneako's found religion, like so many other people over the history of time. And I'm telling you, man, people ask me about religion. I'm like, look, religion is of man. Religion has nothing to do with God, in my opinion. The church has nothing to do with God or Allah or whoever it is you out there worshiping, like the great oak, the sea, whatever. Religion is of man. And you look at the Middle East in particular, we've been fighting over there since the Crusades, bro. And we're still over there fighting. Christianity versus Islam. And then you also have like the crusade against, you know, the Jews and what's going on over there, man, and all this other kind of stuff, man. It's just, this is the kind of stuff I don't like. I'm not cool with that. You know, you must know your history. You must understand how people think. And I don't know who Sneako was talking to. I don't know what type of imam he's talking to. I don't know what kind of spiritual guidance he's getting. But Islam is not hate. If you really know, if you read the Quran, it's not hate. You know, but you have people out there. There are certain people who will use those words that comes from that text and skew those words to get people to hate and to get people to wrap themselves up in explosives, to get people to drive vehicles full of explosives into others, to get people to fly drones into innocent soldiers and whatnot. You get that. You get people to come up with a plan to take fly gliders and to delete people who have nothing to do with your ideals. Just go out there and delete babies and all that. We're gonna talk about that some more tomorrow. This is the one thing I don't like. And I look forward to sitting down with Sneako and having this conversation. Like, this is what I don't like, because what it leads to. Right? So all my religious friends out there, for whatever faith you behind, I don't care if it's Bushido, right? I don't care if it's Hindu. I don't care what it is. You got to take the hatred out of it, because the hatred leads to senseless killing. So, and what he's saying right now is people out there like, yeah, the Zionists, man, cut that shit out, bro. Cut that shit out. Brother Smeebles. Just like in my previous message, if you're good at finding quality women, they seem to find you because of the amplification. But if you find trash women, that amplifies and more trash women come your way. Hey, good point, bro. Good point. I like that point right there.
If we're going to say we need to fight feminism, which is also a product of Zionism, and the female empowerment movement, the hippie movement, which is also a product of Zionism, then men deciding that conquest is sleeping with a bunch of women, if that's also a product of Zionism, we should also actively avoid that and not pursue the bottom level thing, because we're all saying that men want the same thing. We all want to get to the top. And if that's going to hold us back, which we know it does, it drains your energy, your time, and your wallet, avoid it.
Well, bro, dudes have been horny since before the creation of Israel, man.
Yeah, I'm horny right now.
Thank you, Myron. Thank you, Myron. And people ask me like, yo, Myron says some wild stuff, man, on this podcast and on other people's podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But right there, that was perfect. This has been going on long before anybody's religion. This has been going on since the dawn of time of our species. This has been going on. It's nothing to do with religion. It is what it is. And yes, it's still a flex. Should men be out here conquering women if they want to? Sure, if they want to. Build yourself up to get to a point where you can do that. Make up your mind and decide what you want to do and then move forward.
Genghis Khan, like, bro, all the kings of it's biology, bro. I can tell niggas all day. Don't do that, nigga. It's in us, bro. Come on, right.
Look, I'm critical of Zionism too, man. But we can't say blame niggas being horny.
Sure.
Come on, man.
Relax, bro. We also blame men for being lazy. You know what else is inside of us? Sloth, laziness. Right now, I could just be sitting on a couch getting high playing video games, but I'm supposed to do the right thing. I'm supposed to work harder. Just because you feel horny doesn't mean you need to act on it. Just because you feel lazy doesn't mean that you're supposed to be lazy. You're supposed to do what you're supposed to do.
Sneako, I agree. 100%. We should be chaste, disciplined, and not for bitches. But you told me yourself, we spoke one day. What'd you tell me about your sex life, your life, girls?
Yeah, but you keep bringing this back to that hominum. Like, what does that have to do with what I'm talking about?
Saying,
that's exactly what that hominum is.
Your biology. You know what's up with you. You know
I'm saying, and I just explained, if I did not do that, if I did not follow down this path, if I wasn't like addicted to porn when I was 13 years old, my life would have been a lot more successful a lot earlier. Bro, like everybody in my school started watching porn at a young age. That changes the way you think. It rewires your brain to think that this is what I'm supposed to be pursuing. And if you harness all that energy, if you harness all that, because like horniness, all that's part of the masculine imperative. You think like, oh, I'm conquering a girl. It's a fucking whore. You should be conquering your business. You should be conquering the world. Use that horny energy to become the best, not to go fuck a fucking 3 in Miami from the club.
How do you select the woman of your dreams if you don't know how women are?
You didn't have to.
No. Answer it.
Right. We've been all citing everything.
Yeah, fresh checkmate his ass right there. Simple checkmate. How do you know? How do you filter out the 304s if you don't know what they are? You've never dealt with one. How do you know? You got a table full of women. I guarantee you now, one of those, every woman at that table has had sex at least one time, at least once. Now they can go out and fill up a table full of dudes, and I'll guarantee you at least a third of those dudes, if not more, have never been with a woman, or they've only had one sexual encounter in the past year. I guarantee you, every woman at that table has had a sexual encounter within the past week. And if she didn't, it's because she didn't want to. It wasn't because she couldn't. Right? So what Sneako is saying right now, I get where he's coming from. Again, this is coming from a guy who has conquered females, not just any random, like you said, he wasn't out there smashing 3s. Dude was smashing 9s and 10s. I don't know what he was doing before he got to Miami, but I know when he got to Miami, man, he was rocking it out. And he was doing videos when he was still living in New York, and he had a girlfriend. The girlfriend, they had some weirdness going on with, threesomes or whatever, multiple partners, whatever. But anyway, she was fine. Dude has been messing with top tier women his whole life. He's still young. Like since he started smashing, he's been messing with top tier women. But he's gonna tell folks like, "Oh, don't go out there and waste your time." Bro, and Brother Smee was me too. I'm gonna have to watch this whole thing, man. Like it's on Rumble. I'm gonna have to watch the whole thing as well. Brother Michael's in the building. What's good, fam? But Fresh has an excellent point. How do you know what type of woman she is if you have zero experience? What are you gonna measure this 304 to? Or what are you gonna measure this wholesome girl to? You have no reference. And the fact of the matter is, all these women are sitting there and they're kind of agreeing and saying whatever. But again, all these women get sexual access whenever they want. Whenever they want. They can pick up their phone, send a text, make a phone call. Somebody will show up ASAP. The vast majority of men can't do that. Even the guys who are good at womanizing, you just can't pick up a phone and have somebody come over. You have to have a solid rotation. If you're running a rotation of 8, right, and you're really working that rotation, yeah, you'll have it to where someone's coming to see you pretty much whenever you want. You got like a window. But even then, you might have it where all 8 of them are like, nah, they don't want to do nothing. Nah, I know what you want to do. I don't feel like doing that. They might not come through. They might not answer the phone. They won't call you back until they're ready. That sort of thing, because they know what time it is. So even your top tier men can't walk into the spot and be like, you, come on, let's go smash. Right? You need to be like 0.001. I saw Robert Ory do that in LA. Robert Ory would walk into the top clubs in LA. And this was when LA was doing their thing. That's when Shaq and Kobe was playing for the Lakers at the same time. That squad was crazy. He'd walk into the club and like pick up 2, 3, like, come on, let's go. You know what I mean? Wherever he went, he was doing his thing. But how many Robert Orys are there out there in the world, man?
Everything we've been saying back to this podcast, you could cite back to God. You look at the Holy Book and see what is described as a good woman. It's very easy. You don't need to, like, if she's in the club, she's...
Sneako, look, I think that, because now we're getting into the whole morality conversation, whatever. I'm just simply, because this is where we'll leave it. We just want guys to be in a position where they're attractive, they're in the gym, they make money, they're successful. Then they can choose, do they want to fuck a lot of girls? Or do they want to continue to make more money and become even more successful? But I want the man to be in a position to choose that. That's all we're saying.
Or family.
Or family.
But why are you drawing the line there?
We want them to be in that position where they could choose. That's what we want.
But when they have enough money to choose to be fat or to be in shape, what do you recommend? Being in shape, fresh and fit. Yeah, so why is it not when you have enough money to choose the celibacy or choose to do what you're supposed to do? Why do you draw the line of the choice between women and not between being fat?
Because celibacy is going to set you up for failure as a man in 2024.
That's a good answer.
Most guys.
It's a good answer.
Not you.
Okay, not celibacy. What about marriage?
You must deal with whores to be able to properly identify them and stay away from them.
Yes.
Because the problem is this with guys, they'll get with a girl, they don't have sexual experience. The girl sells them a dream. I'm a good girl. I'll be your wife, etc. They marry that girl, and then they find out later, oh, what the fuck did I do? This chick is terrible.
We were just making fun of the women for not being able to be analytical.
And unfortunately, that can happen. It can happen. You got to know who you're dealing with, bro. I know guys that have married women that were known to be like the neighborhood chick. Like, she's that one, bro. Like, she freaky tails. That was a term we used back in the day. Like, yo, bro, she freaky tails. Almost all of them got married. Right? Man, we had one in Atlanta, bro. Whew, little shorty was, man, when I say fine, I mean, my God, little shorty. I'm not going to say her name either. But I guarantee, I don't know where she is today. And this was back in the 90s. I don't know where she is today, but I guarantee you she's probably been married at least once or twice. Got a couple kids and, you know, collecting whatever she's collecting. But boy, oh boy, you want to, man, if we had Instagram back then, oh my God. I used to sit there and watch her run dudes in one night. Just 2 or 3 dudes in one night. Right? And this is, I smashed her. And then came back like a month later or whatever. And I would see shorty like, she just running them in like, okay. I mean, I would, you know, I didn't smash no more. I hit it like we had a weekend or whatever. But I came back about a month or so later, 2-3 months later. She just running them like, yo. That's when I first realized, like, man, women, especially the fine ones, man, they get, and the dudes that were coming in there, you would think they'd be all top tier guys. No, not even. Not even. These dudes, she's running these dudes. They coming in there. She's doing what she's doing. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Brother Smith will say they call him the bicycle, like everybody done rode her. Everybody done rode her. Hey man, look. And like I say, I ain't mad. Like, plausible deniability, man. Keep that in the closet. But all these women I know that were out there doing these things, man, they still get dudes. Just like all the women who are like professional, adult filmmakers. When they're ready, they'll get a dude to marry them. Same with the OF girls. They'll get a dude to marry them. Eventually, now it won't, some of them won't get the dudes that they want, but they'll get a dude. You have to be able to identify this stuff so you know what you get yourself into. You want to marry a stripper? Fine. Go ahead and marry her. But you need to understand what you getting yourself into. And that's what Myron is trying to say. And the only way to do that is to be experienced with women. And that's not just going out there being their buddies. Like, you got to go out there, smash them, see what it is, see how they act around you. You need to be laying next to her when she's talking to her husband or her fiance or her boyfriend. I can't tell you how many times I'm laying next to a woman while she's telling this dude she's with her girls. I'm with Amy and them, or I'm over here, I'm with my mom, or I'm at the church, saying all these kind of things because she know where dude is. Just right there. I'm laying there like she on the phone with dude. Then hang up with him like, okay, bye. Hang up the phone, and then boom, she gets right to business. You know what I'm saying? She's about to hit me with the dome. Like, oh, she's like, let me just get one more time to get it. Like, bro, then you see him out in the street. She there, like, arm around him, like she really loves him, and she looking over at you, winking. Hey, bro, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into, and you gotta see it. You gotta understand. When it happens, you gotta be able to see it. Like, okay, I see what this is. All right, I see what she's doing. I see my role in her life. It's just not hard to see if you open up your eyes. But the only way to truly understand that is to get out there and deal with that. Get out there and deal with these women, man, and see how they get down. I'm not mad. This is the game. Again, I wish I could get 5 downs in the football game, bro. I wish my team could get 5 downs and your team only get 4. You know what I mean? I wish. But that's just how it is. Facts, brothers. Yeah. Men need experience. Women want experiences. Absolutely. They want experiences, bro. You can get a woman who has absolutely no intention of doing anything with you, but you offer her, hey, how about a helicopter ride to Catalina Island? How about a boat ride to Catalina Island? How about we, go dune buggying in Baja? That sounds cool. Yeah, let's go do it. She'll go do all that stuff, have a good time with you, man, and then go home. When it's all over, bye. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at her. She didn't ask you to do it. You asked her if she wanted to go. She said, yeah. Right? Point blank period. Hey, can I bring my boyfriend? They'll do stuff like that. Show up with a boyfriend. You say, I can bring a friend. This is my boyfriend. You learn those lessons. Like, okay, I won't do that again. Right? All right, now I see what time it is. She doesn't have to necessarily just be a 304, man. She could just be somebody who's just using you. You know what I mean? And if you offering yourself up to be used, man, it's on you. Don't get mad at her. Don't get mad at her, bro. You feel me? But these are the experiences you need as a guy so you understand how women move. And how you're going to do that? You got to smash these women. You got to see what it takes. You got to see how hard it is, bro. You got 10 women you messing with, man, you might smash 3 of them. That's just how it works, bro. 30%. At my peak, I was at 40. I never got to half. You know what I mean? Think about that. I would get 4 out of 10, and that was at my peak. You got someone like Fresh, man, you would think like, well, his numbers are way higher. Like, he's running volume, but the percentage is still about the same. He's probably around 40%. He's got tons of women who will show up and just not really want to do nothing. He's like, okay, and think about it. He's got all the toys. Got all the cars, man, got the money, got the, you know what I mean, got all the jewelry, got the clothes, got everything, got the access. And still can't close 100. You would think a dude like that would be closing like 90%, 95%. But he knows right off rip, like, all right, she ain't about it. Move on. You develop your game. How do you do that? You do that by going out there and conquest, right? that's the only way you're gonna do it. Experience.
Cool. If you just stop thinking with your dick, it's not that hard to analyze the situation and be like, this is not a
bro. Most guys are fucking clueless with females.
100%.
Absolutely clueless.
You were too.
Yeah, I
if
made
I remember
mistakes, bro.
correctly,
Yeah, bro.
as a man.
Bro, why do you keep
No, dude. We all have the same issue. You're capping for these girls right now.
But I'm saying,
what you're
No,
doing.
he's not. Don't say. No, you're not. You're not.
Bro, Fresh, come on, man. You're not capable.
Fresh is 100% accurate. Sneako is running game on them women right there. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, and it's 100% effective. Every woman at that table want to holler at him. Everyone. He walked in there. He has clout. He has money. He can do what he wants to do. He's famous. Right? He walks in there and it's like, oh, he's on our side. He's our advocate. And he's saying all the right things. Man, trust me. All he got to do is DM any one of those women at the table, whoever, and they'll come right over and they're going to get down. He is absolutely running game, and I am not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. At all. You know what I mean? He hitting them with the old...
Holla, 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 holla. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you. Let me holler at you.
When he hit them up, like, let me holler at you, they coming right over, bro. They see him walking around Brickell his own. They see him in Wynwood his own. Hey, Sneako. Oh, wow. Remember that episode we did? Wow, I got a lot of views. What's up? Yeah. Man, you can invite them over to the crib, man, his own, bro. It ain't gonna take long. And Fresh just was like, come on, bro, you copy. And that's why Sneako's laughing. You peeped that part, he started laughing like, oh, come on. Bro, he was like, oh, come on, bro. Why you telling on me? Why you telling on me? Yeah, that's the game. That's the game. Streets is cold out here, bro. Brother Grios is in the building. What's good, fam? So I wonder why Sneako won't read Rolo's books. I don't know. I know The Rational Male, which I have. Well, that's a tough one to get through, man. That thing reads like an owner's manual, bro. That's a very, very technical book. I haven't read the others yet. But man, I tell you what, I'm still working my way through it. The Unplugged Alpha and Women Deserve Less are I recommend those books. The Superior, is it The Superior Male? Something like that. I think I read that one too. The Superior Male. I think that's what it's called. I read that one's downstairs. I read that one. I'm about to read that one again. But Unplugged Alpha is a really good one. And Myron's book is really good too. Very provocative title, like Why Women Deserve Less. But he talks about the whole the simpleton epidemic. Brother Smeebles. The best pickup artists have a 10% closing rate. So anything over 10% closing rate is incredible. Yeah, I think Fresh is up there. Like I said, at my peak, it was around 40. I ain't gonna lie. And that's not me just talking crazy. And it just was. And I was in a smaller town, man. Like at my peak, I was in Cincinnati. And then like my first 4 years in LA, I did really well. So it was almost half, bro. It was up there close to 35, 40%. It was crazy. But again, it was me just sitting back and waiting. They wanted to get down. Like, all right, cool. What's up? My first few trips here to Tampa, insane. Miami, good closing rate down there too. When I lived in Miami for 4 years, it was a really good closing rate down there. So, but like Fresh, I mean, he's running these crazy numbers, right? You want to talk about volume? Like that dude's moving volume down there. At least he was. He slowed down. He slowed way down. Like Myron and them had to sit down. Like the whole team had to sit down and talk to him. Like, hey man, you got to calm down, man. You messing up our business, man. You got to calm down, focus. And Fresh has definitely focused, but he's still doing his thing.
Having an argument that's proper. I'm not talking about I'm saying that what would have been optimal is not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Like, and I'll give you proof. Sneako.
What does that have to do
about this, Sneako? Think about this. This just to prove my point that most guys don't understand women. How many guys go out on dates with girls, think that the girl liked them, but in reality, the girl didn't like him at all. She just wanted a free dinner, or they get put in the friend zone. They didn't know that they got put in the friend zone. How many guys are victims of that? Everyone at the table has been in that situation before. So what I'm trying to say is this. Most guys don't understand women. Most guys suck with women, and most guys aren't able to identify and put women in certain categories based on how they behave.
One last point.
That's what I'm saying.
Your own friend Neon is fucking an oil girl.
Every single one of your arguments is ad hominem.
No. It's real.
I don't know how to have a real argument.
Your own friend is going through it. You can't even help him. You can't save him.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because dating is haram and he's dating anyway. If he had listened to the Quran, he would not be in this situation.
But let's be real here. Is he going to do that?
He should have.
Did you? No.
Okay. You're going in circles, man, and you don't hear it.
No, I understand what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, he's not doing what he should be doing. This is why we should be advocating for people to follow God.
What Chris is saying is that neon is the byproduct of what happens when you don't understand women.
No, it's when you leave your religion in order to go and quench your worldly desires.
But he's operating without the knowledge of women. So the thing is, okay, he left religion.
He knows.
He left religion, right? Which obviously Islam puts a lot of safeguards in there to protect you from stupidity.
All of them.
But since he left the religion, now he's kind of on his own. He doesn't have the prerequisite knowledge to understand female nature. And now what is he doing? He's with the fucking OF thought.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know, because he doesn't have the safety. I call it training wheels. He doesn't have this training wheels and the safety of religion to protect them.
Ironically, you're saying that you need to go sleep with a bunch of whores to understand whores. Look, he's doing.
If you're not going to be religious and you're not going to be, if you're not going to be religious and follow the book, then you need to understand female nature.
At least.
Okay, he's dealing with women that are promiscuous and that are prostitutes, and he's not learning. So
Facts.
He's gonna have to get burned.
Yep, he's a hoe.
He's gonna have to.
Yeah, that's Chris in the background saying what he was saying that last part. Chris was like, I don't. Sometimes I wonder what Chris is trying to do. But there are guys out there most guys out there, this is what we're talking about. They got to get burned. They're talking about this neon dude, another young guy, YouTuber, whatever, got money, got clout. He's messing with a woman who was absolutely running his pockets, and good for her. Good for her. Right? Shame on him for not knowing what he's doing. And he's surrounded by dudes who trying to give him the game. But, sometimes people got to learn the hard way, bro. Like I said, man, I can tell you the oven is hot, and I'll sit there and watch you burn your hand on that oven 15 times before you realize it's hot. Hey, man, I told you the oven is hot. Ouch. Don't touch that stove. It's hot. Ouch. Keep none of ouch. You know what I mean? And what does that mean? Oh, look at this girl in the club. She's a good girl. Ouch. Look at this girl over here. She's a single mom, but she has 2 baby daddies. Ouch. You know what I mean? Oh, look at that girl over there, man. She got a big old BBL or whatever, man. And, she's on Instagram. She's, okay, but she's a good girl. Okay, ouch. Look at that girl over there, man. She cooks, she cleans. She comes from a good family, but she has an OF account. Ouch. They got to get out there and learn. This one right here, man, she's the one. She is the daughter of a preacher. Ouch. That one hurt. You got to learn the game, bro. Are there women out there who fall in those categories I just mentioned and are actually decent people? Like, they cool folks. They're really just doing it for the money. There are a couple of them, man, but the vast majority of them, man, don't deal with it. Don't deal with it. Or if you do, proceed at your own peril. But if old boy had game and went out here and tried to talk to other women, he would begin to see, this neon dude, he would begin to see how female nature works. He would then be able to say, okay, this woman over here is a cool woman, right? He would know not to touch the hot stove. Let me sit back and watch. Let me see how this goes down. Let me not burn myself. Let me sit back and learn. Right. Let me put up let me get my vetting apparatus in place. Let me have my dudes that I did, or on my team, like my real dudes, like, what's up? Oh yeah, I smashed shorty. That's another thing too. There are guys out there like, well, simply because you and her had a relationship doesn't mean that her and I can't have a relationship. That tells me a lot about a guy. Oh, you out here, you're not just smashing somebody I smashed. That's one thing, but you're trying to have a relationship with a woman okay. That tells me a lot about you. Go ahead and do you, bro. I'm moving on. You feel me? Like, I can't do that. If you're like, I gotta have this one woman, like, bro, like, what? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I told you she was in a long-term relationship when I was messing with her. Like, remember that story I told you about the woman who was on the phone with her boyfriend while I'm laying in the bed? As soon as she hung up with her boyfriend, she gave me dome. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, but she's changed. She's a good girl now. Ouch. Like, bro, I told you that's a hot oven. You climb inside the oven, bro. You about to get all burned up, homie. But you can't stop these dudes. You can't stop them. And the only way you're going to learn, like, you got to get out there like, all right, cool. You just got to sit back and watch and see how she acts. She's going to reveal her true colors if you give her enough leeway. Give her enough time, man. It's just cool. I say you let her talk. Listen to her talk instead of being fascinated by her butt or her breast or her pretty face. Listen to her talk. Listen to what she has to say. Look at her Instagram. Like, look at all these bikini pics. Why is her legs so spread open in this picture? Why has she got so much cleavage in this picture? Feel me? Why is she twerking? This your good girl? Okay. It's open to the public. Why is it public? This is your good girl, right? Okay. You got to go through this a few times, and most of these dudes got very limited experience in dealing with women. They go again, they want a relationship or whatever. They get in there, they get fooled to an extent. Ouch, the stove is hot. You know what I mean? Brother Smith, was funny thing about the BBL statement, DL. I saw a video of a woman doing street interviews asking people if men prefer BBLs or natural. All women said BBL and all men said natural. Absolutely. When I talk to young women, and it's funny too, I need to start bringing them on the platform. When I had these conversations in real life, I talk to young women and I try to convey to young women, I'm like, listen, natural is the way to be. Natural is the way to be. I always goes, well, I'm gonna get a boob job. I'm gonna get a BBL. I'm gonna get some liposuction. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get that. Whatever. I'm gonna get the fillers and all that. So I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you, natural is the way to go. Dudes are gonna be out here looking for natural women. Brother Smeebles, man, you 100% correct, man. Dudes are gonna be looking for natural women. I don't care how good the procedures become, and they are getting better. I met a couple women. It was like really hard to tell they had BBLs. I'm like, yo, is that was tough. You know, I'm looking at bikini like, is that hers or did she get an enhancement? Dudes are looking for, at least I can say I'm looking for. You line up 10 dudes and ask them, I think 8 of those dudes are gonna be like, yeah, I just want a natural beauty. I tell women all the time, like, man, wear less makeup. Pull your hair back in a ponytail. Just wear your hair natural. You're gonna have mad dudes come talking to you, but I gotta look a certain, man. Let them, they know you can look better with makeup. But if they see you with no makeup, you cute, no makeup on, shoot, I know that's. You want to see Uncle Saint holler at somebody, you know, cold approach in the wild, in the trenches. If I see a woman with no makeup, man, I'm going to talk to her 100% of the time. Oh, she ain't wearing no makeup. Like, pardon me, love. You're not wearing any makeup, are you? It's like, it's so refreshing to see a naturally beautiful woman. You take care. Oh my God. They won't let me get away. They won't let me get away. What'd you say your name was? Thank you so much. Can you mind walking me to my car? Ain't gonna let you get away with a compliment like that, bro. They trying to holler at you. Or they see you at the checkout. Like you say that to them, you in the store, you say that, they trust and believe. They see you at the checkout, they gonna be waiting, trying to get next to you. And it's like, now I'm trying to get out. I'm like, it's just refreshing to see a woman with natural beauty. It's refreshing. I love seeing it. Just natural good looks, right? She's just in shape, just walking around, no enhancements. Amazing. Amazing. You know what I mean? Brother Smeebles, might be a good subject pointing out the differences of what women think men actually want. I find and send you the video. Send me the video, bro. Shoot that to me, man. I appreciate that because what women think men want and what men actually do look for are drastically different. The same thing, you know, men don't know what women are looking for or whatever. Like most guys don't have the game. Like they think they can buy their way in. Like, oh yeah, women want this big elaborate meal and they want this and that. Nah, they don't, man. If they like you, they just want to spend time with you, bro. They just want to talk to you. That's it. Casual Germs is like, yikes. Yeah, the Botox, man, which is crazy. Yep, long term, it's her mentality that wins. Absolutely. Absolutely. Women who aren't afraid to go out there and have a little fun and run around and like they ain't worried about their makeup, they ain't worried about their hair. You know what I mean? I can remember one of my homeboys, it's like one of the first times I ever went to Miami. We were talking to these women. This is when I fell in love with Miami. This was before I used to ever go. It was like, I think it was like the second or third time I ever been to Miami. We're walking, he's talking to this woman. I think she was Venezuelan, but she was living in America. And, you know, Miami, I have just a shower come out of nowhere. Just boom, it just rained for like a minute and then it'll stop. So that happened. Like it just poured down real quick. We were stuck. We couldn't get to any kind of shade or anything like that. Like no shelter whatsoever. Just the rain hit and it was over. Like quick shower. Man, like little shorty didn't run or nothing. She didn't break stride. The rain came down. She just pulled her hair back, man, like in a commercial or something. Like I was like, wow. She had on no makeup. She wasn't worried about her makeup running. Just pulled her hair back. Was like, let's go, guys. I told my homeboy, like, bro, because we had just met her. He got her before me. He saw her first. He went right up to her, like, la, got her. It's like, man, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, little shorty, just bad, tall. No makeup on. And again, this was back in the this was the late 90s. Late 90s. Yeah, I prefer small. Yeah. I'm with you on that, brother Smeebles. Yeah, man. I mean, I hate the upgrades too, man. I hate the upgrades, bro. I just like what you got, man. If you're athletic, you can work what you got, man. You got 2 little beast things. I'm cool with that. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm a butt guy. I like that. But I want it to be natural. I don't want to see any enhancements. I don't like enhancements at all. Especially the way some of these women are doing it, man. It's just crazy.
Wait, no.
Okay, so after you get burnt, what's next?
He's gonna have to get burnt.
He's gonna get the medicine. What else?
What?
What did you say?
What did you say?
I'm saying after you get burnt, what's next? What's next, bro? The average person that gets burnt again and again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next after he gets burnt? He learns his lesson and then go fucking get burnt again?
Well,
or at least save your audience from these burns. Save them.
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. Daytime. Like we did a whole episode today on why being a nice guy will set you up for long-term failure.
Yep.
Facts.
And girls to avoid.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, now when he does get married, it's not going to be, it loses that purity. That love and that marriage is not the same once you've been burnt like that. He's not going to have the same sort of clear lens and the same sort of he's not going to be as ready for a relationship the way he would have been if he was still innocent. Innocence as a man is still important.
You need the hardship though, bro. Being innocent and naive is not good at all.
Yeah, but hardship is better to find in the world through experiences, not through getting burned by whores.
That is experience, bro.
Hardship is hardship, bro. No matter how you find it, no matter who brings it to you, whether it's 3 or 4s or scamming dudes. There are guys out there who will talk you out of, your last dollar, man. There's dudes out there that will gladly scam you on a $20,000 investment or something like that, man. They don't care. They know you borrowed that money. You ain't even got it. They'll talk you into getting a loan and then take the money from you, man, and bounce. You're going to learn from that as well, man. Like, you got to learn that quick. You got to try to be wise as best you can, man. Have people you trust that you can bounce ideas off of, man. When you take that risk, it's a calculated risk. He's talking about marriage, and like, you got these dudes who are like, well, it's not the same. Marriage loses its innocence or whatever he's saying. Like, well, man, life takes away your innocence, bro. Like, first time I seen somebody get hit in the face with a bat, man, that took away a little bit of innocence. First time I saw someone get popped in the streets laying there, bleeding out, that took away a lot. You know what I mean? First time I heard somebody getting, they getting stuck and they over there screaming, they cut me, man. That haunts me to this day. Just to hear those screams for help and all that kind of stuff, man. Seeing people running for their life. I mean, that's just how it is, man. You grow up and realize, like, hey, man, it's dangerous out here. But I know how to avoid those things. And when I see a hitter coming my way, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I know they're out here gunning for me, I know what steps to take. You just never know, bro. You just never know. Life is not all ice creams and candy canes, bro. Why you think I carry these with me everywhere I go? It's my American Express right there, bro. I never leave home without it. Why? Because I know the evil that men do. I know the evil that women do. Does that harden me? Does that make me a different person? Is it like I'm not innocent anymore? Yeah, true. But I'm old, bro. I got more than half a century. I'm half a century plus. You know what I mean? I'm old. I learned this stuff at a young age, bro. I've been caught without my plastic on me before. I've been in situations where I was unarmed and I'm like, bro, this could be it. You know what I mean? I've stared down the barrel. Literally and figuratively. You know what I mean? I've done both, bro. It is what it is. The fact that I'm here is like, man, there's a lot of luck involved. So no, I mean, and even with my knowledge and even with all that, sometimes you get caught slipping, man. Sometimes you fall for a woman and it's the wrong one. And you go against all your training and all your instincts and everyone around you. You go against all that because, your life ain't right or whatever. There's something going on and things get even worse. Thinking, I could change a 3 or 4 into a housewife. No, you cannot. You can't. You could be with her if you want to and have some fun, but understand it's going to go a certain way. And when it does go that way, don't get mad. Don't get mad at the dude. don't get mad because you done caught her somewhere else doing something with some other guy. He doing what he's supposed to do, bro. Don't get mad. Just understand. That's how the game is played, man. And there's dudes out here who will wife up, a former streetwalker. They'll wife up an exotic dancer, and they'll be happy for, however long it lasts. But they know, like, this might not last as long as I think. But they understand it versus the guys who don't understand and they wind up getting wrecked and they lose half their stuff because they didn't take the time to protect themselves against the inevitable. Fresh and Fit podcast, man, the Manosphere, Rich Cooper, Rolo Tomasi, Coach Greg Adams, and all the rest are simply trying to get guys to game themselves up to understand how the dating dynamic truly works and move accordingly. That's it. That's it. Sneako was saying now that he done had his fill of dimes, he done smashed all the 8, 9s, and 10s that he can handle or he wants. Oh, that was wrong. Word? That was wrong? You still have invaluable knowledge that the average man doesn't have. You're able to move better moving forward. So what's so wrong about it? You learned. And you got out of it pretty much unscathed. So what's the problem? Well, you shouldn't be telling guys to do this. Well, tell them to do what? Just chase excellence until what? Right? Because once he gets there and he gets to the finish line, there's going to be a bunch of women waiting. And if he doesn't know how to sift through these women, he is going to get wrecked. And I'd much rather him just get his heart broke by some chick and that's it, as opposed to marry that same chick. She's married to you for 7 years and you wind up losing half of everything you built, if not more. It is what it is. And I guarantee you he believes the same thing. It's just, this is great content.
Bro. Well, here's the thing. He'll be able to identify a good girl when he finds one now, though.
Yep. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he will.
Because a big part of finding a good girl is getting rid of the bad ones.
Or maybe you just get comfortable with the bad ones and you stick with it because that's what you've
been. You're just a retard if you do that.
But a lot of people,
that's the majority of the population.
Would it not have been better if Neon had just stuck to his religion in the first place?
It would have saved him. But since he decided to leave, not be.
Well, why did he make that decision?
That's on him.
No.
I don't know.
Why do you think that happened?
Because he thought with his balls.
No, because he's somebody who's been programmed by social media, just like all of us. Like he's been programmed to think, look, views. He's thinking about.
You young niggas been programmed. Yeah, you young guys. Yeah.
But look, when you see that, when you're distracted by all the worldly pleasures that they Shaitan and provides you, that's when you're going to stay away from that. That's when you're.
We're old, bro. We didn't get programmed by.
And Sneako, brother Sneako, man. That's always been the case, my brother. Technology has changed, yes, but it's always been the case, man. Dump that zero and get with a hero. That's the BS that came out of, you know what I mean? It was all about the nerds and the geeks versus the jocks and the cool kids. That's always been the case, man. It always will be. You always got the kid, the rich kid who got all the trinkets or whatever. Mom and daddy gave him a BMW 3 Series to drive back and forth to school. He's got all the stylish clothes. Like when I was coming up in the Midwest, man, it was Levi's and polos. Like, bro, dude got on Levi's and polos, bro, got on penny loafers. You know what I mean? And this is right when Nike was coming out, man. So before Nike was Reebok and Adidas. My Adidas, Run DMC. You had to walk around with Adidas on, and you know what I mean? You had to have on the black and the black and white lumberjack or the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. I remember the first time I heard the rapping Duke, Daha Daha. Look how far hip hop has gone, bro, since then. And it's always been about, you know what I mean? Like, you know, LL Cool J, I'm bad. You know what I mean? He was doing that. My radio, believe me, I like it loud. You know, it was all about having the girls and being cool. You know what I mean? Dear Vet. You know what I mean? You look at Roxanne. You look at all this kind of stuff, man. It was all kind of, man, Friends. Houdini, for you young kids. Type that in. Look that up. Houdini, Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. Before we go any further, let's be friends. Look that song up. These conversations have been going on as long as humans have been walking around. Only thing that's changed is the technology. That's it. That's it. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. It's always been dudes. Like it used to be the technology now is like they opened the whole world up to women, but back in the day, come on now. Back in the day, women would have to get a guy in their immediate area. Eventually, I'm like, if I'm gonna get somebody, I gotta get okay. I couldn't get the high school football quarterback who went and won state. I couldn't get him. So I got the third string running back. Or I got the point guard for the basketball team. Or you just got to a point where they had to choose. Women had to choose something like, oh, I'm gonna go with him. And it normally worked. And society was in a position where people got married forever. Divorce was frowned upon. But people were still out here having two families on the opposite sides of town. It wasn't just a black thing. White people were doing it too. You know what I mean? It wasn't just one bubble. All the bubbles were doing it. Right? Top tier men have always had access to the vast majority of women, married or otherwise. Like it is what it is. So for Sneako to say that, I'm like, come on, Sneako. This ain't new, bro. This ain't new. The technology has changed. Now, like the adult content, yeah, I mean, kids got it, bro. They gonna see it. If they don't see it on their own, their friends are gonna show it to them. That is what it is. We didn't have that. But there was Penthouse, there was Cherry, there was Playboy, it was so many different smut magazines out there, so many. And then VHS hit. Then, you would just go find a VHS tape, pop that in, you know what I mean? Watch, it was, oh my God, there was so many movies out there. Now everything is in the palm of your hand. Technology just changed. That's all. And especially as a single dad, it's virtually impossible to keep that content away from your kids. So what do? I tell my kids about the content. This is what you're going to stumble across. This is what you're going to see. Right. So, and I ain't gonna lie, being the dad of a girl, I'm glad the boys ain't getting none. Like, so, okay, let me talk to my daughter. Let me at least game her up as best I can to prepare her for what's out there. But technology has definitely changed. But it's always been like this. The top tier guys have always been killing the game. It's just back then, women had to choose a guy in the area. It was only so many choices to be made. Like that was it. You had to pick something. Now they're messing with dudes who can fly them out to wherever. I could fly you to France, fly you to Germany, fly you to Japan, fly you to Caracas. You know what I mean? Like I could fly you places. And that's a problem. Now it's like it's an infinite amount of men out there. So women don't have to necessarily settle with someone back home, or they can settle with someone back home and still get flued out, still get this money, still do OF, still go do this stuff. And it's, just doing it. I just want the money. The money for what? We're happy, aren't we? So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Your generation did.
I know what I want to do,
bro. Yeah.
Bro, Instagram didn't even exist when I was until I was like later on in college.
Well, then I'm not talking about old people. I'm talking about the future, the people that's listening to this thing. You fucking old people just said you're old. So now,
back in my days,
think about how we can help the youth, man.
Can we stop age shaming?
Ultimately,
but now we're old.
We only age shame girls. Don't worry. We only age shame men.
I'm 36 and I deserve a man. No, you don't, man. You deserve a nursing home, man.
You guys keep bringing it back to like the ability to critical think, and the ability to critical think comes down to the critical faculty in the mind. The critical faculty is that wall that's between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind.
Here we go.
But that programming wall is actually rooted in identity, and I think as a collective we have a massive scale of an identity crisis. And really what people are doing right now is they're externalizing their identity into their possessions, into their roles, into their professions, into all the external things. And when you're externalizing your identity, now you're very fragile and now you're very malleable, and your subconscious isn't really protected by that wall. That's why religion and having a relationship with God is so important, because if you have a grounded identity in something eternal, now you have an anti-fragile identity. And that's a lot of the value that religion brings.
Okay.
Damn, shorty. I never saw this part. She just dropped some knowledge right there, didn't she? That was a click, 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 boom. She just let all the claymores go. Click, 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 boom. She has a point. People don't know who they are. What does Sun Tzu say? Know yourself. Know yourself. People don't know who they are. And I can't agree with that young lady more. That's the only thing I think she said. This whole clip, however long this clip is, man, I'm definitely gonna have to watch the rest of this whole thing. I'm gonna have to go to Rumble and watch this whole thing. Man, damn, shorty, that was profound. She's 100% correct, especially here in America. People don't know who they are. They are struggling to find their identity. They don't have any role models, so to speak. And I'm talking about not athletes. I'm talking about in their immediate family, in their circles. Right? Just think about it. You got your mom who's out here drinking wine and going out with her girls. Your grown ass mama's out here getting her back blown out by random dudes. Like, damn, she sees that. The father's not around because of whatever. More often than not, it's because the court restricts how much time he gets to spend around his kids. He had to, he fought a losing battle. So, and then you being programmed not to listen to him. Don't listen to men. He's toxic. If he's out here telling you how the world is, then he's toxic. That's toxic masculinity. I'm trying to let you know how this goes down. The dudes that you're trying to go after, this is what they're going to do to you. If you don't learn game, because they're learning some game, you better be able to see through that bullshit. You're toxic. All right. Okay. And women can tell you to go out here and do whatever. And whatever women tell you is just, it's just fine. That doesn't work. People don't know who they are. They struggle to find their identity. Man, she's on point. And then what's being fed to them? Look at TikTok. Look at Instagram. Look at Facebook. Even though it's old people on there, it's still a bunch of craziness. Look at social media. Look at the mainstream media. Look at all the advertisements going out here, bro. It's all about the almighty dollar. And if you ain't got it, you ain't nothing. So you better go borrow it. Look at it. The median home in America costs around $400,000, bro. It's almost $500,000. Almost $500,000. The median household income is $74,580 in America as of 2022. How the hell are you gonna buy yourself a starter house for $400,000 making that? That's household. That's two incomes in most cases. You're gonna have to buy that house and get your car. What's the average car these days? 40, 50,000? I'm gonna have to look that up. What's the average car cost these days? Insurance is going up, utilities is going up, food is going up. The purchasing power of a dollar is going down. People are chasing what they can't have. Everyone's chasing the white rabbit, bro. You can't have it. Everyone is completely given into the matrix. Every single one. And anyone who speaks out against it gets ostracized. And I ain't talking about the manosphere. I'm talking about in general. Man, that young lady was correct, man. Give her one more. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. What she said made a lot of sense.
Word. Damn.
What?
Very true.
Sorry.
That's a good breakdown.
No, sorry.
That's what I was feeling. Like,
Yo, I just missed out.
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say.
Man. I missed out. Sorry.
Long story short, religion grounds you so that if you lose everything, you don't lose your identity.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. God.
Because a lot of people get wrapped up in their title or what they do, etc.
Temporary.
Right? And if you were to lose it all, would you lose your mind? And if you have religion, a lot of times you're grounded, which is true. I agree. A lot of religion creates peace for a lot of people. But what I'm saying is that when you don't have it, right? When you don't have those, what I call training wheels, a lot of the times you're left with your mindset and how you view the world objectively. And a lot of times, if you don't have prerequisite knowledge of female nature and how women move and behave, because you don't follow the book, then you're going to end up getting fucked up is what it is. Right. So that's kind of what we saw with him. But hey, man, our argument is just I want the guys to be in a position where if they want to be celibate, cool. You're making the choice to be celibate. It's a choice. You're not forced that way. You can get a woman if you want to. That's where I want guys to be, where they're celibate by choice, not involuntary celibate.
I'm going to definitely have to go back and watch the rest of that. That was fire. That was wow. I have to go back and watch that. To go back and watch that because I want to hear more of little Shorty to drop that last gem right at the end. But Myron and Fresh absolutely sums it up. Myron sums it up right there at the end. What they're trying to do is help these young men get to the point where they get to choose if they're going to engage in the sexual marketplace or not. They are trying to show guys, not with the late night show, although the late night show helps you see in real time how a lot of women think, but with the early shows, which they get less views. But those early shows, how to build up your money, how to talk to women, how to womanize, like on Wednesday. So they teach you how to talk to women. So you got Money Mondays, you got, womanizing Wednesdays, which they don't call it womanizing anymore, but teaching about the sexual marketplace. And they got the call-in shows on Friday where people call in and they talk to them. And they got the haters that call sometimes and dudes call, asking for help or whatever. They are absolutely, in my opinion, providing a really good service because there are not a lot of people out there doing that. If you look at the mainstream way you're doing business, you should just go out there and court your woman and date her and pay for her and take her out on these expensive, elaborate meals on her first date and keep pursuing her and do whatever she says. And if it doesn't work, just man up. You should take that woman who has multiple kids by multiple dudes and be the guy who steps up and marry her and raise those kids. And she leaves you in 7 years and you're paying child support for children that aren't even yours. You didn't even have kids because she didn't want to have any more kids. You should just take her on. Yo, man, if that's what you want to do it. But understand, you could do better. You could do better. And if it doesn't work out, understand, the way the court system is today, you could, in fact, be paying child support, being the legal parent of children that you never had, and you have to pay for them kids. And if it happens, the only person you could be mad at is the person in the mirror because you didn't take the time to go out here and learn these things. Simple as that. It's fine for you to go out and meet a woman and you can find out that she's got over 200 sexual partners. That's fine. You should still marry her and spend $80,000 on a wedding. That's what today's culture will have you believe. And I would say, hey man, if you want to do that, go right ahead. All I'm saying is have the game, have the understanding to know what you're getting yourself into, period. I wouldn't do that. I would not. I'm not trying to marry a woman who's had over 200 dudes. I'm not trying to legally marry that. No, absolutely not. Nah, can we have some fun? That's cool. You know what I mean? Okay, you're a born again virgin. Okay, great. That's fine. That does not wipe clean a slate of everything that you did back in the day. Especially if it's online. Like, I'm not gonna have a child with you just so that child could be in the 8th grade or 12th grade or 5th grade or 4th grade or whatever. And one of his friends pulls a phone over and be like, look, this is your mom getting banged. That's gonna be so hard for a child to deal with. Ain't nothing gonna change that. Ain't nothing gonna change that. So if that's who that's who you choose, all right, cool. Just understand that was your choice. And if it doesn't work out, which it probably won't, you are the only person that you can blame. That's what Fresh and Fit and those other Manosphere channels are trying to get out here to these young men. This is how it works right now. Is that to say that all women are bad? Absolutely not. There are absolutely some good women out there. Some good ones. Some good ones. They're hard to find, but they're out there. You don't have to go overseas to find them. They're here in America. You might have to travel a little bit to find them. You might have to look in places that you wouldn't normally look for, right? They're not in the nightclubs, right? They're not in the lounges. They're not on the yacht parties. They're not at the pool parties. They're not at the mansion parties. You're not going to find them there, bro. What you find there, have some fun with. By all means, get out there and pay attention to what's going on. But you better not come to me and be like, yo, I found the perfect girl. She's just down the third. Where'd y'all meet? Oh, we was on a yacht party over here in Tampa or in Orlando, or I was in Miami, in a mansion party, or I was in New York at a penthouse party. Word. And she's the one. Yeah, All right, well, good luck. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that. So you just pay attention to what's going on out here. Technology is giving us all this information. Tomorrow during the daytime, we're gonna do the political one, man. I'm gonna jump on around noon, around 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna talk about politics. I got the show tomorrow. So Wednesday, there's a video I want to do. The guy in New York, the guy in Brickell who goes around, he's talking to women. Coach Greg Adams actually broke this video down, and I wanted to break it down too. This beautiful young woman is just giving up all the sauce, bro. All the sauce, man. I'm gonna pull that video on Wednesday, and we're gonna have to talk about that video. She gave up the truth. This is a beautiful young woman. I mean, in shape, looking good, not a whole lot of makeup. They're downtown Brickell. And she, man, she gave up nothing but the truth. And there are guys out there who are kind of looking at this like, man, this had to be staged. There's no way she's doing this for real. I'm like, bro, unfortunately, yeah, that's what's going on out there, bro. She's out there doing what she's doing, unrestricted, and she's talking about it. That's the only mistake she made. She has proof of her out there doing this bad girl stuff. And here's the thing. She could talk her way out of it. It's always going to be a simpleton who's like, oh, no, she ain't like that anymore. Or, you know, they put pressure on her. They told her to say those things. It's always going to be people out there that's going to make excuses. The truth is women are getting it, just like men are getting it. Only difference is they're getting it way easier. It's way easier for them to get it. Brother Smeebles, today's day and age, good luck keeping kids away from it with so many free websites with crazy content. Yeah, we're talking about adult content. You can't keep it away from them. Those kids are seeing exactly what they want to see. Sneako said it in that video just then. 13 years old. Since he's 13 years old, he's been seeing that hardcore stuff. Man, it's crazy. And it really does mess up their mind because they're like, this is how humans reproduce, this isn't it. They don't understand the emotional side of it. They don't get it. You know what I mean? Because that's not what they're looking at. They're looking at this hardcore stuff. It is a problem. And parents don't want to talk about it. Parents don't want to talk to their kids about it. You know, I talked to my daughter about it. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It's tough. But being a parent is tough, man. These are hard conversations to have. It's not like we're living out in the back 40 somewhere in the middle of Montana with no Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Homeschooling our kids and just raising the cattle and all that. Nah, man, we're living in the world. We're living in the world. My daughter doesn't have a smartphone anymore. I told you she had her smartphone and she managed to run up a bill. You know what I mean? It was like a lot of money, thousands and thousands of dollars, right? It was bad. I don't know if I told the story online or not, but it was just, trust me, it was bad. I took her smartphone away from her. She has a regular phone. She can text me. She can call. She can't get online. She can't play games and none of that stuff. She adjusted pretty quick, but bro, trust me, she can get anything out there. You know what I mean? Brother Casual Jones, I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to keep it 100. You know what I mean? Brother Mikey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Brother Smeebles, the amount of men in these Western countries that are raising kids that aren't their blood due to women sleeping around and the man doesn't know is insane. And that has been going on forever, my friend. That's why guys wanted virgins. That was the only way to ensure paternity. And even then, women were having kids, and there's so many stories. Today, we have science, but this is brand new, bro. This is brand new. There's so many dudes out there raising children that aren't their biological kids. And then here's the thing, at the end of the day, a lot of times these guys find out, like, that's not my biological child, but they've raised this child from the beginning, since the baby came home from the hospital, thinking that's my baby. So, of course, they're not going to be like, you're not my child anymore. Of course, they're going to continue to raise the child. That's my child. Whether you're my biological, doesn't matter. I get that. You know what I mean? You've bonded with this child. But it sucks. And this is, again, like, is there a defense against this? No, not really. I mean, you do your best, man. You know, sometimes things happen, bro. There are cases, women go out there, man, just for whatever reason, they get caught up and they do something, a one-nighter, and they regret it for the rest of their life. But it ended with the child. And then they look at that child and they know that the husband is not the father. But they pray to the deity all the time, like, thank God the baby at least looks like us. You know, thank God the baby didn't come out black or Asian or whatever, because you never know what the other dude was. You know, and it's, you know, people say, man, that's just horrible. It is what it is. Ignorance is bliss. So as long as there's no medical issues and the father doesn't have to try to give a kidney or blood or something like that, and they do a test, it's like, oh, we can't use it because you're not the biological, because that happens a lot. Technology is such that, like, oh, or they go to do some sort of DNA. That's the thing that scares a lot of people these days. People are going out here doing these DNA tests, and they're going to get their lineage, and then come to find out, like, oh, we're not even related. You know, like you might have a son or daughter come home like, hey, dad, let's go do this thing. It's a project for school, and let's go do our genealogy here. Let me swab you. I'm gonna swab me, put it in there, send it off, comes back. Y'all ain't even related. Yeah, mom's just sitting there like, or mom goes off, like, doesn't want you to do it. Go get that test. What are you doing? Go get that test back. I can't. They already sent it off. Well, give me the results. Because mom know what time it is. That's why it's best, man. Like, you out here, you gamed up. You out here running your rotations. Always tell the truth. Don't lie. Don't lie. No matter how bad the situation may be, tell the truth, man. Let people make their own decisions. Most women could come home pregnant by another guy and tell their husband or a significant other, I'm pregnant by this other dude. I just want you to know. And the guy will be like, all right. Most dudes, after the rage is gone, he'll still want to be with her. It is what it is. Yeah, that's the world, bro. That's the world. And guess what? That's their business. I ain't mad at that guy. I can respect this decision. I ain't mad. Would I do it? No. But it doesn't matter what I would do. I respect this decision. Like, oh, facts. You crazy, brother Mike. You know what I mean? Chop it up on Wednesday. For sure. For sure. I hope you can make it through. I try to do it early, you know. Yeah, that was on just today on one of CGA's channels. You know, he has a bunch of channels, man. Because I was like watching one today. It was around 2 p.m. It had already been on for 2 or 3 hours. And he had this girl, and it was, I forget the name of the channel of the brothers. The black guy, he's in Miami. He has his camera set up. I've seen him. I've taken pictures of the dude. Like, he just sets up his camera on a stand, and he has this microphone. I think it's Rhodes, and he'll just have women walking around. It's like right in front of Moxie's most of the time. And he'll just ask them questions, like interviews right on the spot, asking women about, you know, dating habits and this and that, and how they do this and that, whatever. And it was just this beautiful young woman. She was wearing a red dress. Coach Greg Adams was talking about it today. And I was like, oh, man, because I wanted to do it, but I'm still going to do it. Because, you know, even though we're older bros, we're older brothers, older black men, black American men, our views are similar, but we still differ on certain things. And it, man, this young woman was giving up all the sauce, bro. All the sauce, man. She was not playing. It was definitely on his channel, man. So I was watching it today. I was watching it right around 2:30, 2:45-ish. I think it was 2, yeah. About 2 o'clock or so. And then I had to leave. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, brother Mike, is coming through. I appreciate all of the comments, brothers. I really do appreciate that. That's going to help push us along in the algorithm. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not a mistake, a warning. It's like, it's just one of those things, man. Like this, it's tough out here. And most guys are not gamed up. They're not gamed up, man. You know, you look at the passport bros, man, they're going down here, not understanding what they're getting themselves into. Some of these guys are getting hurt. You know, they're getting beat up. They're being, you know, held for ransom or worse. Some of them are getting deleted unintentionally. Women are drugging them, putting too much drugs in their drink, and these guys are basically ODing. They don't understand what's going on in this world, man. They don't understand, you know, how strong the dollar is and how bad these people need money down there, bro. And it is what it is. Game goofiness could get you deleted. It is what it is. So you got to game yourself up. There's no need to go run to another country to get a baddie. You can get her here. Put in the work. Quit being lazy. Put in the work, bro. You know, you don't have to have 6 figures, man. Put in the work. Just a little bit of game, man, goes a long way here in America. You want to take a trip to some rural area somewhere, man. Go to Michigan, go to Minnesota, go to Montana. You know what I mean? Go someplace like that. You know, go to the rural areas of Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. Go out there. You can find some, you know what I mean? You can find some decent American women. You know, go to West Virginia, go to Virginia. Right? Hit the Rust Belt. You can go to Ohio. You know, just go to like the outskirts, man. Like go to like Middletown or, you know, go to Ironton. You know, there's places in Ohio you can go and you're still gonna meet some real good women. You know, like I said, Michigan, man. Go to Michigan, go to Grayling, Michigan. Right? Go to Traverse City, Michigan. Small out of the way. Go to Traverse City, get your hotel and all that, you know, take a day trip down to Grayling or whatever. Right? You're gonna meet you some cool women, bro. You're gonna have some cool experiences. But you still need game because those women up there getting it too. They know how to get to the airport. They know how to get to Traverse City Airport, and they can fly down to Miami or to New York. They could fly to Atlanta. They could fly to LA, Vegas. So you're still gonna need that game. You're gonna have to be able to see through it. I haven't been to Traverse City since 1994. I was there last time I was there in 1994. Man, I had a blast, bro. I had a blast. And man, I'm here to tell you, bro, I got stories. I got stories. I was a young buck. I was there on a military mission, yeah, but still I was out doing civilian stuff. So I'm just saying, man, there's places you can go. Right? You come down here to Florida, man, go to Lakeland. You know what I mean? Go up to Lecanto. Right? You can go down to Fort Myers and the surrounding areas. Like there's places in the South, in the Southeast. There's places in flyover country, the middle part of the country, Midwest. There's parts of Kansas, parts of Missouri. There's places out there you can go. You don't have to go to Columbia. It's easy. It's a cheat code. Yeah, you're going to go down there and smash you a dime. But if it's all about just spending the money, man, just get you a proper call girl. Call it a day. Pick out what you want. You can pick out one who used to live in Columbia and she's here now. Dimes. They'll come straight to the crib, bro. And when you look at it, all the money they spend going down there and the fact that they might get robbed or, you know what I mean, kidnapped or whatever, it's way safer. They can just do it here in the States. That's one of the things we should talk about, man. They should make that legal, bro. I think they should make that legal. What two adults decide to do in the confines of their own home is up to them, man. If they want to put money on it, they can put money on it. Brother Smeebles, I heard the stories of someone in the family having issues and needing blood. So the whole family, even uncles, aunts, grandparents, all got tested and kids came with no relation information. Wow. I've heard those same stories. Y'all. Sad. I heard one recently. I forget what channel, because y'all know I spend a lot of time on YouTube just kind of checking out content, trying to figure out where we're going to land with our content. And there was a story of a man who got a call from the hospital. His child, son or daughter, whatever it was in the hospital, and they needed bone marrow or something like that. They needed something that was more than just blood. They needed something that needed to match up genetically needed to match up. So of course the father rushed down to the hospital and got all the tests done. It was like, yeah, use mine or whatever it was. And they're like, we can't use you. They're like, you don't match up. Not thinking that he didn't know. And of course, as the story goes, mom came running in, I guess maybe 45 minutes to an hour later. She knew what time it was. And they told dude, and he was all messed up. So she gave the child whatever the child needed, obviously. And then she had to go clean up the mess. Because dude was like, what do you mean I'm not a genetic match? That's my child. Well, you raised that child. It's not necessarily yours. And remember that night I took that girl's trip to so-and-so? I'm making that part up. The last part right here is me adding on to the story. I made this part up. This didn't happen. But she'll probably be like, well, remember that time you did something bad and made me go with my girls to Miami that one weekend girls trip when you made me mad. Remember that? Well, while I was down there, I smashed some dude who was driving a Rolls Royce truck. Right? I smashed some dude in a Lamborghini. I was on a yacht party and I was down below decks and some dude was just blowing my back out, whatever. I don't even know his name. Couldn't pick him out in the lineup if he was in front of me. I guess he finished in me. I thought he pulled out. Sorry. It's your fault. You shouldn't have made me mad. Your fault. I think it is what it is, man. Make your move. And this is why so many guys delete themselves. This is why so many guys be trying to delete others. They be going crazy over this. And okay, I'm gonna get divorced. We're over 7 years in. I've been raising this child for 7+ years. You still got to pay for that child. Of course, like, nope, that's your child. Well, it's not my biological. So what? Y'all getting divorced. Alimony, child support. That's how the game plays, man. That's how it goes, man. That's how the game goes. That's how the game gets played, bro. So you might as well, just deal with it, right? For better, for worse, sicker, richer, poorer, sickness and health. Till death. It didn't say till I got lied to. It said till death. And I know people will point out to me, it says forsaking all others. Yeah, it says that, but it also says until death do we part. You said the words. I'm gonna have to write those. I'm gonna have to remember those words. You said the words, player. Don't get mad. That's how the game goes. And if that's the only discretion she had, now the trust is out the window. Now you got this child. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's life. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Speaking French, I don't speak French at all. I only know a couple of phrases and words. But I was out the other night, Friday night. I told you guys I went out Friday. I didn't go out Saturday or Sunday at all, but I went out Friday because they got this pirate thing. And I thought by the end of the stream I would remember what it was called, but I don't remember what it's called. It is what it is. But I was walking down some stairs. I was in my favorite hangout spot. I was at the Edition Hotel. Coming out of there, I was in there talking to my people, took care of some business. I was coming out. I'm walking down some stairs, and I hear these women speaking French in front of me, but they were moving slow, taking pictures, so I kind of went around them. And as I passed them up, I was like, pardon me, ladies, what language are you speaking? Of course, I knew it was French. And the one woman closest to me, she was like, it's Francais. She answered me in French. I was like, what language are you speaking? And she said, we're speaking French in French, right? But then at the same time, one of her friends like, it's French. And I was like, it's such a beautiful language. You know what I mean? And I like, it's so refreshing to hear. And I just walked away. And I should have said goodbye. I should have said au revoir and walked away. I didn't think about that. I should have. That'd have been like the perfect game. But it was like 4, 5 of them, something like that. I don't even know how many it was. Maybe 6. But very attractive women. They were dressed really nice. I'm assuming they were staying in the hotel. And again, always be talking shit, gentlemen. I kept it moving because I was really ready to go. I didn't want to hang out, and I had to take a dump. So I wasn't trying to romance nobody. Sitting there about to be Mr. Poopy Pants. They don't want to have a mistake, sitting there talking to these French women and all of a sudden, have an accident. So I was headed home. But they were wide open to the conversation, bro. And I speak enough French that the conversation I could have gotten their guards all the way down. It would have been a good conversation. But like I said, I had to get out of there. Oh, well. You know what I mean? I'm sure there'll be another time when I come across maybe some German women or, maybe some Spanish from Spain women. Which the Spanish is different from Spain to, like what's going on in Latin America or whatever. But, bro, they were fine. Fine. And who knows what would have happened. But like I say, man, I always be talking shit. Always. But yeah, man, it's just tough out here, man. These guys, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Brother Michael with the I don't speak it enough to even try to have a conversation. Like I can attempt a conversation in Spanish. I can attempt a conversation in Korean. But like French, Japanese, German, I only know a few words and phrases. But it's enough to get me into the conversation. It's enough to break through those walls, right? And this is why that's going to get you through. Their shit's going to come right down, especially coming from me, a black guy. You know what I mean? Brother Smeebles, always good to learn greetings in different languages. Massive icebreakers. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Always know something. Just a little bit. It gets the conversation started. And that gives you the upper hand on the average American. Have you ever been? No, I haven't, but I have been here, here, and here. Now the conversation's open to traveling. I can talk about where you've been, start sharing pictures. Hey man, next thing you know, you guys are having, drinks, and exchanging numbers, and then you break contact. Like, all right, well, I'm about to go. It was great talking to you. Hey, how long are you guys in town? Oh, we're gonna be here until such and such. You know what? Let's get together for tea. You guys free? You free for tea tomorrow? Yeah, I would love to have tea with you. Great. I'll come down. I'll shoot you a text when I'm on my way. We'll find a place around here to have tea. Like, do you know the area very well? Like, not down here, but we can explore. I've seen cafes and stuff just around the corner here. We can just explore. You're in. You're in, gentlemen. That's it. This is all part of having that game. Now, if you're going out here with no game, you would have no idea. You would be too afraid to even approach these women. You would have no way about you. You would be boring. The women would be very standoffish. They won't speak any English. They'll just start speaking in French and just tell you they don't speak English just to get away from you. So you have to know how to maneuver. This is why it's so important to have game. This is why it's so important to be able to talk to these women. And even you can even tell if they're loose in their country. Although, European women compared to American women are more realistic. I mean, they know what time it is. Of course you want to sleep with me. Of course. I get that. They get that. Whereas American women are like, no, you just want to be my friend. You're just my friend. Like, stop it. Trying to smash. Trying to smash. You know what time it is. So it is what it is. Tomorrow, we're definitely going to be talking about politics, geopolitics, man, world geopolitics, man. We're going to talk about Ukraine. We're going to be talking about the Middle East. We're going to be talking about, Gaza, what's going on in Palestine. We're going to be talking about what's going on in Jordan, what's going on with U.S. troops over there. How close are America and Iran to going to war? We're going to be talking about that tomorrow. We're going to jump in around, like I said, let's say noon. Let's say noon Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna have this conversation. I probably won't be able to do the 6 o'clock show because we got the comedy show tomorrow. So I probably won't be able to do the 6 o'clock show. And then Wednesday we're gonna talk. I'm gonna find that video. We're gonna talk about old girl that was in Brickell, unless I find something else. But I'm gonna find that video of old girl, and hopefully I can find that video of Coach Greg Adams. We can kind of bounce back, listen to what he has to say compared to what I was thinking. It is what it is. The brother Smith was like, he's telling these chicks like I'm your friend in the sheets. Hey, bro, do what you gotta do to get it. Hey, being forward, bro. Like I say, always be talking shit, man. ABTS, and being forward with a woman. You'd be surprised how that works out, man. You'd be surprised. If you could do it in a joking manner, bro, you'd be surprised. I'm gonna leave it right there, especially being a comic. I'm like, ooh. I done said some of the wildest things to women just because, and they do it. They would actually do it. It blew my mind. I remember once I was doing this show at Miyagi's. This is in Hollywood on Sunset, right across the street from where it's called Pink Taco now, but back then it was called Miyagi's. It's right across the street from Dublin's. They used to do a comedy show there, and I was performing there one night, and it was just this woman. Her name was Jess, and very attractive woman. She was cool, a little bit heavy set, but she had she had thieves. She had some twins on her, bro. And I said something like, I was like, hey, sometimes, if you're an attractive woman, you don't have to thank me by clapping. You can just flash me. That'll be good enough, right? Just trying to make a joke of it. 20 minutes later, I'm in the back of the bar. I'm at the bar, show's over. And she was like, oh, you did good up there. Her and her friends. I'm like, oh, I appreciate that. She's like, so that thing you said about flashing you, like, is that real? I'm like, oh, I just thought it'd be funny to say whatever. I just thought of it. But sure, if a woman wants to do that, I'm not going to say no. She was like, okay, great. And she just pulled up her shirt right there at the bar. I was like, oh, I gave her a clap. Like, oh, thank you. The twins are looking nice indeed. Wound up going, hung out with her and her girls, wound up going back to their place or whatever. I mean, just again, like, and I didn't smash either one that night. It was what it was, but it just goes to show how you could say something wild and it could lead to a better situation. You know what I mean? Just I don't recommend it. I am a professional comic. You know what I mean? I'm a trained professional. Don't try this at home. But I tell dudes like, yo, figure that out. If you can figure out how to talk shit and be light and be funny about it, it could absolutely help you out when it comes to, you know what I mean, meeting women and take it to the next step. Yeah, she had a massive personality, bro. You would have loved her. We're still cool to this day, man. I think I'm on her Instagram. Yeah, I need to see what's up with her, man. I ain't talked to Jess in a minute. She was from the Northeast. I want to say Boston. No, Detroit. She was from Detroit. Shout out to the Detroit people, man. I thought y'all had one. Thought y'all was going to the Super Bowl. So sorry. They didn't pull it out. They did not. They were not able to pull that out. But hey, it is what it is. Kansas City, San Francisco, man. I don't know. I think San Francisco might pull this one out. I'm going to pull for San Fran on this one. We'll see how it goes. That's it, guys. That's the show for tonight. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Yeah, man. Like Sneako, leave Sneako alone, man. Sneako's on a quest. He's a young man trying to figure it out. I thought that was a good conversation. And again, you want people in your circle that will challenge your beliefs. And Sneako is definitely going to challenge your belief, whatever it is. And yes, his it seems that, you know, his mind is changing or his you know, philosophy on life is changing. But hey, man, you're young. You're trying to figure it out. I ain't mad at him at all. Shout out to everybody who was rocking out with us, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. Again, we're going to come on at 12 noon. I'm going to jump on. We're going to talk about the political stuff, man. 12 noon. And we'll probably have to just keep incorporating the political talks because, again, it's getting crazy. Shout out to Brother Dino for bringing that up. Also, brother, who else brought that up? I know it was Dinosaur talking about it. And someone else had hit me up about it. Brother Roman hit me up about it. So we're gonna definitely talk about that. And yeah, man, y'all have a good night. I hope you're well wherever you are. You feel me, brother Smeebles? Keep your head up over there in Australia, man. Can't wait to meet you, man. I hope you get over here to the States soon. I will not be getting over to Australia this year. I kind of looked at it. It's not going to happen. If that changes, you'll be the first to know, bro. And good night to everyone else who's out there. Everyone who's ninja watching, appreciate you. Don't forget, hit that like, man. Hit that subscribe. Share this with someone if you think they can get something out of it. I'm DL Saint. This is that I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.